Welcome to Africa's first ROG arena. Woo!
Hi there folks, and welcome to the next installment of the ATK Pro Series powered by Mercedes-Benz. My name is Dennis Page, and that handsome young fellow on the right hand side of your screen is Stephen Koenig, who at the moment is at the races. As you know, we are involved with multiple forms of motorsport, and he is broadcasting from Dalmas, but unfortunately they've got a technical issue with cell phone reception in the area, so hopefully Stephen will join us sooner rather than later. But for now, let's continue the racing action here. As you can see, our sponsors at the bottom of the screen. Without them, none of this would be possible. And of course, Mercedes-Benz. Today is an exciting day because as the year continues, the championship is getting to a head. And the top 3 drivers from this championship will, at the end of the season, go through to the Champion of Champions race, the Champs of Champs. I don't know if you guys remember school where there were the inter-schools and then the inter-houses and all those kind of things. And then eventually the Champs of Champs that I wasn't athletic enough to get to, but these drivers over here could very well be fast enough to get to the Champs of Champs. Someone that has been consistently fast has been Tristan de Nobrega, who drove past me at the circuit the other day. So if you're listening, Tristan, thanks for not waving. And then in second place, we got Barkhuizen in second position with 121 points, 51 points behind Tristan, who has had a sensational season. Now, of course, drivers get about 35 points for a win, and today there are 2 races happening, so Barkhuizen could still be within striking distance of de Nobrega. Speaking of striking distance, Serradio, the driver who this year in the BMW has been consistently fast, but unfortunately not getting consistent results all over the season. He is, however, placed in 3rd position and currently heading to that Champs of Champs event later this year. Smith, Hillebrand, Phillips, and of course the very fast Lucchesi back in the mix in the top 7th position. So as you can see there, the championship from around 4th place down is very, very tight indeed. Of course, drivers do get a dropped round during the course of the season, and these points in front of you here have been calculated with dropped rounds in mind. Now, currently, the drivers are out in qualifying, and we'll be heading to qualifying shortly to find out exactly how they're doing out there as we see the Johan Labuschagne car currently in 3rd place. Now, Labuschagne team have been chatting on Discord, and they have pointed out that they are looking very fast today at the iconic Kyalami circuit where we find ourselves today. Of course, this round is very special to most South Africans because this is our home international circuit. We got the Kyalami 9-hour coming up next year, and this is now these drivers, Tristan de Nobrega rotating the car on the curves there. This, of course, is these drivers' turn to try and make the most of the iconic Kyalami circuit as he gets to the top of the hill and now down the mine shaft in that Ferrari, a Kessel Racing Ferrari. Tristan, though, has looked very, very fast on the sim over the course of the last couple of months. He has got experience in various forms of motorsport, and of course does single-seater racing as well, but he really has taken to Rfactor, and I think the way these cars behave suits his driving style quite nicely. And at this point I would say, isn't that right, Steve? But I'm basically talking to you guys out there. I think you guys would all agree that Tristan de Nobrega is able to rotate the car around very, very nicely and easily, especially this Ferrari. I found in certain sims this Ferrari does rotate quite nicely, like the balanced oversteer sort of in mid-corner, the mid-corner phase, as you can once again see, gets the car rotated every single corner, and that is so difficult to do when you're trying to go as fast as possible, because sometimes you might over-rotate it and sometimes you might under-rotate it, and to be able to get the car balanced like that, I mean, that is just unbelievable to be able to do that all the time. Hilton Nickerson in 6th position. He's one of our new drivers at the moment and looking very good in that Lamborghini over there. So far in 6th position, it's interesting to see a new driver in 6th place so far up the order, and he's 2.3 seconds down on de Nobrega. Look at that, Lucchesi in 2nd place. So about 10 minutes of qualifying left as Lucchesi gets into 2nd place. Labuschagne in 3rd, Smith, Robert Nicholson just behind that, Hilton on your screen right now. His target time of 1:38.7. So here we go. Luke Lucchesi about to start his flying lap, and across the line he goes into the first section of the iconic Kyalami circuit into turn 2. The hard left-hander, the locals call it turn 1 though, and he's going to try and go as fast as possible. Lucchesi has been, especially at the beginning of the season, was definitely someone that I thought would be very, very competitive throughout the year, and I think with out-and-out pace, Lucchesi is mega, absolutely potent and fast on any circuit. But unfortunately, you know, a championship is won over many races, and Lucchesi has had some bad luck at times, and unfortunately hasn't been able to scoop up as many points as he would have liked, but always present, always competitive, and always very, very fast. The Cape Townian with a history in karting and drag racing, surprisingly. He went from karting to being very competitive in karting to absolutely smashing records in drag racing. Then the transition to sim racing, and has been very competitive in multiple platforms over the last couple of years, and now finds himself in Rfactor, a game that, as far as I know, he's had to learn from scratch. Many of the drivers, in fact, have had to do that and try and figure out exactly how to get the most out of this sim. And I can tell you what, it's not going to be easy, especially if you haven't played a game like this before. But I've spent some time with Rfactor, and I got to say, I quite think, oh, Lucchesi runs a little bit wide there, backside of the lap. And I think he's going to try once again to get a hot lap here, get a fast lap going. Takes the wide line. The circuit does look uncharacteristically empty in the pit lane over there, so the designers might have to look at popping a couple of cars in there. Ethan Smith in fourth position now, 0.927 seconds down on first place man de Nobrega, with 8 minutes left. Ethan has the ability to knock Seradio out of the championship standings. So Seradio currently in fourth position in the championship. Ethan Smith in Ethan Smith in fourth position, Seradio in third, with a 14-point gap between the two of them. So if Seradio doesn't do well over the next 2 heats, Ethan Smith could see himself leapfrogging him and making his way to the Champs of Champs event later this year. Across the line goes Ethan Smith. Let's see how he does. Still stays in fourth position, and Labuschagne in third place. Robert in fifth. Currently looks like, yeah, fifth position. This is Labuschagne now in third position. The Apex card looking very good there. Hazards on, get out of the way. Move, get out the way, says Johan Labuschagne. And he has, as mentioned earlier on, been tipped to have a little bit more pace underfoot. So let's see if he is able to do that today, if he's able to maintain today. And a fantastic result from him here would do his championship campaign very, very well. Currently in 9th position down the order. But as mentioned, from 4 onwards, it's anybody's game. From 4th position with 100 points is Hillebrand, and all the way down to 15th position is 50 points. So that's 50-point gap to 15th from 5th, and to 10th place is just 18 points. So the gap from 5th to 10th very, very easily dispatched if you manage to get a good result. Here comes Andre Seradio now in the BMW M6, and that car looks very good, very big, very mean, as the exhausts pop out flames out the side, and now makes his way down the hill. Seradio looking so racy this year. I think his points at the moment in third place, a good indication of how he's been performing this year. He's kind of been always in the mix as Seradio, and it's interesting to see him now in third place, fighting for that final spot in the Champs of Champs, but also at the same time trying to take it to the boys up ahead. It's not over till it's over. No championship is, unless of course theoretically nobody else can win it. But at this stage, it's anybody's game, depending on who finishes or who doesn't. But I gotta say, the Nobrega has looked very good. There goes Seradio across the line in second place now. Takes the position from Lucchesi. And Seradio, look at how close that is between Seradio and Nobrega. There goes David van der Walt in 9th place, and David van der Walt making his way now towards Sunset, the iconic Sunset corner. So many stories to tell from this corner over here, and now into the clubhouse. Turn 7, you've got to wait here, not run too wide like that. Oh, Damien van der Walt runs wide. This could be close. Into the wall he goes. Into the wall goes Damien van der Walt. And that was a little bit too close for comfort there, Damien. A little bit too close for comfort. And just as we were saying, the commentator's curse, the curse of the commentator, as they say. Luke Lucchesi gonna make his way down now. Will he overtake Seradio on circuit? That looks like Seradio up ahead there. And Luke Lucchesi currently in third position in the qualifying. This is, of course, qualifying going into the next race. And these drivers are trying to go as fast as is possible to get the best possible position. Luckily, though, Kyalami is a circuit where overtaking does take place. You can pressurize, you can force mistakes and errors. And certainly everybody's capable of doing that, whether it's forcing the error or making one. Gotta say though, De Nobrega has looked very good this season. And I do know Tristan De Nobrega. I've always supported him. Oh, Luke Lucchesi runs wide there. I've always supported him. So if it does sound like I'm being biased, it's because I'm not. He has been very fast this season. And it's always good to see talent bubble to the surface. Someone that's also been fast, of course, is Luke Lucchesi. He's just got to keep it together now. Just got to keep it together. Currently still on the second row of the grid, 0.5 of a second down. So radio, though, 0.040. And the pace on Luke Lucchesi is very good as he makes his way down the mine shaft into the crocodiles, as they say. And such a tricky corner here. I'm still not quite sure what exactly the line is there. And slows it down, does Luke Lucchesi. So that's his qualifying done, at least this lap. I think he's going to try and set a gap. He's making a gap as he goes into the final corner. That's Ingwe. Oh, cuts across and causes a bit of a collision there, does Luke Lucchesi. And hopefully that hasn't ruined both of their laps. I'm not sure if that other driver was going into the pit lane there or not. But Luke Lucchesi gets all the way across the circuit. Probably not the best way to start your final lap. And he's got 2 minutes and 57 seconds there, so he's got 2 laps in hand. He can still go around one more time. Hopefully no damage there. So Radio still in second. Lucchesi in third position. Labuskaghni and Smith in fourth and fifth. Robert Hillebrand, Nickerson, Van Rooyen, Van der Walt, Julian Marais, and Luke in 13th position. Luke, I'm sure, will want a little bit more pace. It's full 4 seconds down at the moment. And there goes your first place in qualifying so far. And geez Louise, he is going so quick at the moment. Managed to increase the gap to 0.4 seconds. So he's managed to increase the gap to 0.4 seconds, has Lucchesi. And yeah, there is sorry, has De Nobrega. Hillebrand now out there in 7th place. And still looking pretty good in 7th position. The number 11 car of Hillebrand, 2.3 seconds down. And the drivers now on the last 1.5 minutes. Last 1.5 minutes. So let's see how the next few seconds go. De Nobrega still leads us off. Seradio still in second. Lucchesi still in third. Now, I've got to say, between the top 3 guys there, it's going to be close. Hillebrand running a little bit wide there. Will that affect things? Here comes Hillebrand now to finish his lap. Green sector, first sector. Yellow sector, second. Whoa, big sideways moment there. That's not going to help. That's not going to help at all. And across the line he goes. Hillebrand stays in 7th position. One of the last laps there for Damien van der Walt. Damien van der Walt gets and threads his way around the final lap. Okay, so Radio has made it for final lap, so Radio could be still in it to try and get that first position. Just went through turn 1 and there's Radio now. BMW slipping and sliding its way around. Now going towards Sunset. And Seradio looking very fast out there. Let's wait for those sector times to pop up. Oh, using the whole circuit there, up on the curb, downshifts again. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of flames coming out the side of the car, drifting across. Excuse me. The flag is out. The flag is out and Suradio is still out there. I apologize, guys. A bit of a cough on my side here as Suradio makes his way through. Gets a purple sector 2. Will it be enough, though? Will it be enough for Suradio? Into the final sector now. This is the final corner. He is looking fast, though. 0.4 of a second down. He's going to try and get past Denobriga. Can he do it? Across the line he goes, and the time off. Oh, Suradio takes first position. Suradio takes first position on the line. Suradio sneaks ahead on the line. My arms are up in the air. I can't believe this. And Andre Suradio gets the first position and sneaks onto the front row of the grid. An incredible performance from him, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? Wow. Suradio snatches from the hands of Tristan Denobriga. This is one of those moments where I'm sure Tristan's looking at the screen going, okay, you got me. That was fair and square. And Andre Suradio did what he needed to do when it counted most. Absolute cool and calm shown. Gets one last lap and nails it to perfection to sneak ahead of his championship rival. I mean, just incredible stuff there from Suradio. Just to remind you, he is in third place and going up against Barkhuizen in second place. So Suradio seals it for himself there. Very nicely done. And Andre Suradio looking very good out there. And I'm quite frankly surprised that he was able to do that on that last lap like that, to keep his cool like that. I mean, that takes a little bit of doing. Takes a little bit of doing. We've got a minute till the race starts, folks. We're going to cut to an ad, and I'm going to grab a fresh glass of water because I think I'm going to be shouting a lot over the next couple of hours. I'll catch you guys on the other side. And we're back, folks, and it is time to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, already things have started off, and things are very interesting. The drivers now making their way on their out lap first, and once they do that, of course, after that, we're going to go racing. But, geez, I think Suradio has taken the fight to Tristan Denobriga, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. You want to see competitive racing. You want to see the competitors come to the fore. And as mentioned earlier on, Suradio definitely is one of my drivers that I've been enjoying watching over the course of the season. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Andre Suradio sneaks into first position on the grid, just at the end. And it looks like the outlap has started. Aiden in the comments there says, Andre Suradio on pole position. Yes, Aiden, indeed. Can you believe it? And this is the start of that outlet. The drivers now making their way into the first corner, and there you see Suradio in front of everybody going into the first corner. We're going to go through those qualifying standings now, and then we can see exactly who's who in the zoo. There you have it. Andre Suradio behind him, Tristan, Luke Lucchesi, Johan Labuschagne in fourth position. Then in fifth place is Ethan Smith, Brandon Robert over there, Andre Hillebrand, and Hilton Nickerson in eighth position. The rest of the drivers making their way through as well. We've got a nice solid grid of drivers. Ninth place, Tian van Rooyen, David van der Walt, Julian, Tian Marais. As mentioned, we've got a couple of new names on the grid today. Watch out for that blue and white Lamborghini. our new drivers joining us as they make their way around the rest of the circuit. Let's get ready to race, folks. It's time to go racing at Kyalami. This is the ATK Pro Series powered by Mercedes-Benz. My name is Page, and this is Rfactor2. These drivers are going to be making their way around for the next little while to see who is the best in Rfactor2. And of course, the top three go through to our Champs of Champs, where we will have multiple disciplines competing. And I see a couple more people have joined the stream. Thanks for joining, guys. Be sure to like the stream. If you like it, comment in the chat. I'll be chatting to you guys as well. Just sent a bit of a hazard there. So I will be chatting to you guys as well. And keep me company if you like. Unfortunately, the internet has gone down by my good friend and colleague Stephen Koenig. So it's me and you guys out there at the moment. So let's do this together. Here they come down the mine shaft. And it's almost time to go racing. And racing is exactly what these drivers are going to be doing now. They've got everything to play for. Everything to play for as the Champs of Champs looms. And these drivers want to make sure that they get the best possible result today. I'm watching the stream now. Wow, that looks so clear on the YouTube stream. Geez, that looks really, really good. We've got Gabriel Dos Santos. What a lap from Andre. Now, Gabriel, I agree, bro. I definitely agree, because the thing about a lap like that is that you gotta keep your composure so hard, and it's so difficult to do. But these guys, that's exactly what they did. But speaking of composure, they're gonna need it now. Seradio, De Nobrega, and Lucchesi, the top three guys, watch out for them as here they go. There's Seradio on your right-hand side of your screen, De Nobrega on the left. And these guys are going to do a standing start as De Nobrega has to hook reverse there. He has to hook reverse there a little bit. So hopefully that reverse gear worked just fine. Seradio on the left of your screen, De Nobrega, Lucchesi, and then behind that, Labuschagne in the white and red Ferrari. The flag man is getting ready to set them off. Andre is my teammate in another series, says Aiden. Phenomenal driver. Anthony Wilson. Oh, we got green flag racing. Seradio box it. Seradio box it on the start line. Gets hit. And De Nobrega sneaks into the lead. Oh my goodness. After all of that, De Nobrega sneaks into the lead. And Seradio slots all the way down. We got Labuschagne in second place. Robert in third. Nickerson. Luke Lucchesi is also further down. And our new drivers over there getting all the way into the mix there. And look at Tristan De Nobrega managing to get away smoothly. But what just happened after all of that? It looks like Seradio stalls it on the line. I mean, how did he manage to get that right? What a pity. And I was just reading the comment section over there as De Nobrega comes through. There goes Labuschagne in the Apex Con. We were saying Labuschagne's got pace. Robert Neffs and Nickerson in the Lamborghini. There comes Lucchesi now in the Ferrari, red and black. Makes his way back into position. And at the start there, you see the Seradio car stopping dead and gets hit at the back by one of the Ferraris. That was Lucchesi, I think, that hit De Nobrega. So Lucchesi now has to find his way through. The rest of the guys further back, Van der Walt all getting tied up there. The Porsche as well getting tied up into that incident. No serious damage by the looks of things, but that was not an ideal start by our man over there, Seradio, who I was just blowing so much smoke earlier on, and then that happens, and that's just one of those things there. That's just how the game goes. And Aiden, I'm sure, so disappointed after giving Seradio props there in the comments section. But the racing must go on. We've got 58 minutes of racing ahead of us. And these guys are going to have to make sure they get their heads back in the game. There goes Luke Lucchesi, gets another overtake. Lucchesi gets past Nickerson. And Nickerson slots into 5th position. He started in 4th, did Nickerson. And there goes Luke Lucchesi, very fast. Oh, Nickerson has to go a little bit wide there. Aiden says, well, this is awkward. Yeah, Aiden, we were practically high-fiving before the race started, and then this happens. So yes, that was pretty awkward. The commentator's curse is a real thing. I don't believe in it though, but some people tell me that it's real. Luke in the other Porsche further back over there in 9th position. He started in 9th, stays in 9th. We've got eyes on him now in the Golf Porsche. Through the sunset corner he goes. There goes Hilton Nickerson in 5th place, looking very good from starting in 4th, but the field's starting to settle now and the gap's starting to appear as Luke Lucchesi still goes through. Gabriel De Santos agrees that this has indeed gotten awkward. He also commented earlier about Serradio's lap, but I mean, hey, I think what one can take away from this obviously is lots of disappointment for Serradio, but also, and there he goes, the man of the moment. Oof. Also, the fact that he is very good at Smith gets a penalty. Smith gets a penalty. So Smith, who started in 10th place, gets a penalty. So unfortunately, yeah, you can take from that Serradio, the big win from this is that he managed to get a stellar qualifying, but unfortunately not able to capitalize further than that. The BMW bouncing over the curbs there as he now tries to aggressively maneuver his way past the Ferrari there. Best lap by Tristan Nobrega of a 140.38, and Serradio and Hillebrand mixing it up there. Hillebrand saying, no, this is for position, so you're not going to get past me that easily. So this is for position now. The Nobrega leads off by 2 seconds, even after that second place in qualifying. The Nobrega finds himself in 1st place, and there goes, oh, sideways moment in the Ferrari there, as Serradio once again slips past. Hillebrand now, Luke in his sights in the Golf Porsche. And Serradio is once again on a charge, but we've seen this before, unfortunately, where we've seen Serradio have to push so hard, and one of the, oh, jeez, he's fast, Serradio. He's definitely got the pace on some of his counterparts here, but we've seen this before, that the tires and fuel wear in this sim are so interesting that if you don't manage your tires as early on in the race, you tend to use them up. And yeah, you know, if you're going to be running so fast, so hard for so long, then, well, it's going to be a problem, isn't it? And that's exactly what the chasing from the back is going to bring about, because the Nobrega, all he needs to do is just kind of coast around and make sure he maintains that 2.5 second gap on Labuschagne, as he has done, as Lucchesi finds himself once again now back into 3rd place. A good charge from Lucchesi. We got on board with Julian now. Julian van der Walt. Julian, I apologize, number 8. In 8th position, followed by Serradio. And watch out for Serradio. There comes Smith. I think that's Smith out the pit lane over there. And let's see if Serradio is able to catch him on a break into 1st quarter. Serradio very aggressive in his overtaking attempts. And it's now become a 4-way battle from Nixon and Van der Walt down. You got Nickerson in 5th place, Van der Walt in 6th, Marais in 7th. Oh, look at that. Look at this. This is a proper battle over here. And Serradio must be licking his lips, because he's going to carve through this field one at a time. That was a nice overtaking maneuver there. Picture perfect as he goes through the S's. Oh, these S's are such cool corners as you clip those curbs. Ride those curbs. Aim for the tree. Aim for the tree, boys. Into the braking zone. Oh, look at that. Serradio threads the needle. Gets past Marais. Marais makes a mistake. And Serradio now back in 7th position. A far cry from his pole position performance. But geez, he is absolutely on it at the moment. Marais tries to come back at him, but no luck. And now Marais finds himself under pressure. And now we look back at Serradio, Marais, and Julian. Serradio now attacking Van der Walt. Goes for the overtake down the inside. Gets alongside, gets the position easier, but looks like Van der Walt is running a little bit wide there. Marais capitalizes. Marais capitalizes. Van der Walt slips down another position. 2 for 1, says Serradio. And look at that. Serradio now back in contention, at least for a solid finish, 6th place. He is, however, 3 seconds down by the looks of things on the next place driver in 5th place. Tristan de Nobrega, your fastest lap of the race so far. Harry Spears, how's it going, Harry? Harry Spears, of course, our ATK Pro Series Assetto Corsa championship winning driver. A fantastic performance from Harry Spears all the way from the UK. How's the weather over there? Aren't you guys having daylight savings or something soon? And Harry says, great comeback drive so far from Seradio. And never a truer word spoken, Mr. Spears, as Seradio does indeed do a fantastic performance coming back from that terrible start. He's really got to get his head focused as we look on board now with Tristan de Nobrega in first position. Leading this race by a full 4 seconds, Gabriel dos Santos. Gabriel dos Santos says, absolutely loving the pace he is showing. Luke Lucchesi gets the fastest lap of the race. And Luke Lucchesi then in third place. Can Luke Lucchesi start cutting back on that 4.8 second deficit? Luke Lucchesi has always shown incredible pace, especially at the start of the race. His tyre management hasn't been on par with de Nobrega's, though. I could be speaking under correction, but that's just an observation from my side. I think Tristan's tyre management has always been quite good, tyre and fuel management. Lucchesi has always had out-and-out pace, but it's also getting used to the tyre model that you're running on the sim. I would imagine these drivers need to get that down pat. And Luke Lucchesi now just needs to figure out if he can get that sorted out along with the already blistering pace that he has demonstrated over the course of the last season. Luke Lucchesi has mentioned the Cape Townian with a karting background, drag racing background incidentally as well. We got Seradio now closing in on P5. No surprises there. Seradio still on the charge. As mentioned by Harry Spears earlier on, great comeback drive so far. There goes Seradio now onto the brakes, running wide using the whole circuit. And I think just a little bit of intimidation tactics over there. Big blue, big black, BMW all the way. Stuck onto that back bumper. And there down the inside goes Seradio. Gets the position, 5th place. In the bag. Logan Galdenes says Andre is absolutely cooking it. Well, Logan, he's got no choice, man. It's cook or go home at this stage. Oh, look at this. Nickerson has a look down the inside. Oh, Nickerson a little bit far back there. Couldn't match him under braking. And that was a little bit close. I think Luke Lucchesi just spun out. Yes, he did. Luke Lucchesi just spun out. Oh, no. Seradio passes Lucchesi. And Lucchesi spun out. And after all of that, Luke Lucchesi has spun out and unfortunately finds himself now down in 6th position. Luke Lucchesi was looking so good all the while, but unfortunately makes a mistake. And just look at Seradio. He's got that BMW so hooked up. He's got that BMW so hooked up, so composed. Such a big car. As we look at the standings once again, de Nobrega started in 1st place. Labuskachny, let's not forget him, started in 2nd place, still in 2nd. Robert started in 3rd, still in 3rd. But Seradio, I apologize, Seradio was started in pole. Just going back to the standings from the start. Let's start again. Seradio was in 1st, he now finds himself in 4th. De Nobrega was in 2nd, finds himself now in 1st. We're on board with Tian Morena. Robert was in 6th place, now finds himself in 3rd. And Lucchesi seems to be struggling a little bit though. Smith, unfortunately, all the way down after that penalty earlier on. Smith started in 5th place, so with a DNF at the moment. And Smith, unfortunately, just not able to maintain. As we cut back to the action. That is Tian Mare in 6th place. think that is our new driver. I'll just wait for my producer to confirm. Tian Mare in 6th position. 1 second behind Lucchesi at the moment, who is absolutely struggling out there. Luke Lucchesi not able to do what he normally does and drop the hammer for most of the race. We've seen him have some issues. Aiden says, I'm surprised how stable Seradio's car is. We were still doing some minor changes this morning to the setup, he says. But the car is looking very stable, and it's stable not just at any regular pace. He must be pushing quite hard at this stage. So if you're able to keep... Oh, there goes Tian Mare at the top of the hill. Big slide. If you're able to keep it so composed at this sort of pace, that says a lot about your abilities as a driver. And there now, Seradio catching P3. Can you believe that, folks? Seradio catching P3. So Seradio definitely in a class of his own at the moment. Now on the main straight they go. Look at how fast the Lambo is though. The Lambo does seem to have some legs on the straight. Watch Seradio's braking though. He's been historically very good under braking. Look at the line. Brandon takes a bit of an awkward line there. And this allows Seradio to close in, which I think he will do more of going into this corner. Brandon not using the whole circuit there. Seradio, however, does. And now we see Seradio starting to catch up once again. Through Sunset they go. Down the hill once again. And now back up towards the S's. They will go after this left-hander. Look at that, on the bumper now. Brandon Robert going to be feeling the pressure because he'll know how fast Seradio has been up to this point. Seradio using the whole circuit there. That stable BMW is now bumper to bumper. This is 8 o'clock traffic right here, but Andre Seradio is trying to be the taxi driver over here. Just shoves his way past and easily gets the position. Does Seradio. Into 3rd place he goes. 2nd place man, Labuschagne. Next on Seradio's hit list, potentially. But the gap now, 13.2 seconds to the leader. With Robert now, who started in 6th place, still in a very respectable 4th at the moment. There goes Robert once again. Down the main straight. As further back we see Lucchesi in the 11 car. Lucchesi unfortunately not having it all his way today. Someone that is having it all his way though is Tristan de Nobrega in 1st place with a big gap at this stage. As Brandon Robert once again makes his way around. The gap now, let's watch that gap, 13.5 seconds between Seradio and 8 seconds between Labuschagne and Seradio. So that is the gap to watch, 2nd and 3rd place man. 8 positions, or 8 seconds, I apologize. 8 seconds there, the gap between those two. Let's watch that gap and see if that gap is able to close or be closed by Seradio, who has done the most incredible comeback charge after making a terminal mistake at the start of the race. A terminal mistake that has cost him multiple positions. After putting it on pole, he now finds himself slipping down. Luke also slipping down there, further down in the order in 10th position. Julian just getting past him. And if you look on your left-hand side of your screen, you can see all the placings at the moment as Julian goes once again to the top of the hill in 9th position. Luke more than likely quite far back now. Look at that. So, I wonder what happened to him. Hillebrand 1 lap down, Nixon 1 lap down as well. So we're going to get some lap times. Tristan, 142.3 his last lap. 142.3. Ooh, 141.2 from Seradio. So 42.3 versus 41.2. So that's 1.1 seconds the difference in one lap. Could Seradio be on a comeback charge? I mean, what a pity that would be if he was able to have the first race winning pace for him. And Labuschagne also on a 42.3. By all accounts, Seradio is on his way very much to catching Labuschagne. The gap now down, down, down. And I suspect that gap is only going to continue to get lower. 6 seconds to the leader for Labuschagne. 12 seconds to the leader for Seradio. And Seradio, as mentioned earlier on, was fully further down the order, but now finds himself well within striking distance. He was 18 seconds down on the leader earlier on, and then chopped that away. So in third position, he was still 18 seconds down on the leader, and managed to chop at that gap. Now he finds himself much closer. We're just getting a fastest lap, waiting for that fastest lap to come through. And I think it's Luke Lucchesi, yeah. Luke Lucchesi is still the fastest on track. So even after all that drama, second fastest, I apologize. He's closing in on Brandon Robert. So Luke Lucchesi still demonstrating that pace, man. He's just so fast. He's so fast. And it's not just one lap pace. He's able to do it in multiple laps, but just sometimes not able to string it together for whatever reason, whether it's mechanical setup, car, or whatever. It's just not able to get a full race distance. Luke Lucchesi with the fastest lap of the race so far earlier on as well, 40.0. Speaking of 40, we got 40 minutes remaining of this first race of two. Two races today on the calendar. And counting the 2 rounds in the championship comes towards our Champs of Champs. And whoever gets in the top 3 goes through to the Champs of Champs. Luke Lucchesi, always fast. Catching up hand over fist here to Robert. Let's look at that gap now between Seradio and Labuschagne, down to 6 seconds or thereabouts. Brandon Robert now coming under immense pressure. Luke is catching him at about 7/10 per lap. And that is going to not look good in about 3 or 4 laps time. I'll tell you that. The pressure is on. Tristan and Johan now, Tristan Lobreguer leader and Johan Labuschagne in second place, have responded to Seradio's charge and now have picked up the pace of their own. So dropping down quite substantially into the 41s, 41.3 for Labuschagne, 41.8 for De Nobrega. So De Nobrega still controlling his pace, making sure that he's not too close to the charging drivers. But as mentioned, let's watch that that gap. Labuschagne early on was on 5.9 seconds. It's now at 6.5 seconds to De Nobrega. So De Nobrega's got a little bit more in hand there. Seradio was Seradio is definitely catching up to Labuschagne, and I think within the next 40 minutes we might see something there. I think within the next 40 minutes we might see something there. Lucchesi is in touching distance of Brandon. So this is full position, and I think we're about to see ourselves a bit of a dice happening here. There is, of course, a mandatory pit stop happening later on, folks. One mandatory refueling pit stop, and we're going to be seeing something happening there, I'm sure. As there goes Brandon Robert. Brandon Robert in the Lamborghini in 4th place. And there comes Lucchesi. Lucchesi has been charging so incredibly hard now. Will this be worth the effort? Is the juice worth the squeeze, as they say? And will he be able to get past? Oh, look at that. Oh, goes down the inside. He's going to make the corner to the left through Sunset and up the hill now. And Lucchesi gets it through the S's. He will be in front of Robert through the S's. So Lucchesi gets another fantastic lap, but also gets another position in the bag. He's now just behind Serradio, but 10 seconds though behind. Serradio is currently in 3rd place. Lucchesi currently in 4th, and the fastest guys really have bubbled to the surface here. Denobriger, Serradio, and Lucchesi. But we did mention early on, as in qualifying, we mentioned that Labuschagne has got pace this weekend. His peers have pointed it out, and clearly he's using that pace to full effect. Currently in 2nd place. Labuschagne currently in 2nd place. And Julian gets a penalty. Julian gets a penalty. He's down in lap. He's down 1 lap in 9th position. So not too consequential. Probably speeding in the pits. And not too consequential. At this stage, unfortunately, he's already down in 9th place. But he'd want to beat some of his competitors there, I'm sure. He does have another pit stop in hand, unfortunately. And we've seen drivers speeding in the pits this season. Hopefully not anymore, especially not for the leaders. Don't want to see that happening. Here comes Tristan now. The pit window is open. And these drivers will now start making their pit stops. There goes Tristan Rodriguez, leader. So cool, calm and collected this season. We've seen him do well in the hill climb on Assetto Corsa before. He hasn't really been quite as involved in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but here he is now in Rfactor and having a frankly dominant season, especially if he's able to win these 2 rounds today. And I don't want to preempt anything, but if he does, he could have quite a dominant performance by the points, by the numbers. The closest battle on track now is currently 4P10. That's Hilton Nicholson in 11th place. He's got Van der Walt in front of him there. That's Julian, I apologize, in front of him. So 9th position has just pitted Van Rooyen, and they both pick up a position now. And still not on the lead lap are these two, but this is a battle between the two of them. Hilton Nicholson. Oh, look at that. Nicholson with the overtake there. Easily does it. Easily does it. That's Nicholson in the blue and white Lamborghini. One of our new drivers this weekend. Joining us for the first time. And if you are in the comments section, guys, be sure to send us a statement there. Chat to the guys in the comment section if you know anybody. And let us know what you're thinking of the racing so far, because so far it is hotting up. This is the ATK Pro Series powered by Mercedes-Benz. My name is Ernest Page, and you are currently watching the first race of the weekend of 2 and 33 minutes to go in this race. And there goes the hard-charging Andre Serradio. A legendary performance from him so far. Not such a legendary start. Look at that BMW move around, man. Flipping out. Not the most legendary start, if I'm honest, but certainly a legendary comeback. There goes Andre Serradio now through the first corner towards the first left-hander, but second corner on the circuit. the gap now to Labuschagne, under 3 seconds. I do think we're going to see an overtake happening pretty soon, folks. Andres Serradio starting to apply the pressure now to Labuschagne. Labuschagne in second place, and has been for quite some time. But now all of a sudden finds a black, yellow, green, red BMW with flames coming out the side, perched in his rear view mirror, not budging, not flinching. And I gotta say, Serradio, although making a terminal mistake at the beginning of this race, hasn't really put a wheel wrong for the rest of the race. So that will be a good feedback for himself. And of course, Aiden in the comment section as well will be thinking, that's what we're talking about. This is how we've been performing all week. Now's the time to deliver that sterling performance that we thought we would, especially going into qualifying, coming out of qualifying with first place. Robert is now also surprisingly catching Luke Lucchesi, as there goes Luke, and Luke now finds himself with a Robert-sized problem in that Lamborghini, and Luke Lucchesi and Robert will be battling it out. That is for 4th place. Currently Lucchesi in 4th position. Those are your two battles on screen at the moment. And oh, Andres Serradio almost getting one of the back markers there. Almost getting one of the back markers there, trying to take avoiding action. Manages to do so, but he's going to have to be very careful if he wants to make sure he makes it through this race, as the back markers are now going to start popping up here and there. And oh my goodness, we've lost Serradio. We've lost Serradio. Oh my goodness me, we've lost Serradio. I don't see him on screen anymore. This is a disastrous turn of events. Andres Serradio is out of this race with 30 minutes remaining. Luke Lucchesi gets 3rd place, and we were about to see an amazing charge from Serradio. In fact, we were watching an incredible charge from Serradio, but it looks like he got disconnected. It's 3 o'clock, 3:08. I wonder if it's any sort of load shedding situation. Serradio gets a DNF, and Luke Lucchesi gets 3rd place. Robert still charging on Luke Lucchesi. What an absolute pity there. And that's what we were hoping to see. And Luke Lucchesi will no doubt be happy to take that position. You kind of take what you get in motorsport. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, as they say. And Luke Lucchesi has certainly been both this season. This time, though, hammers down and gets 3rd position. Labuschagne, though, now suddenly finds himself comfortably in 2nd place. And we wait now for the pit stops to happen. We've seen the pit stops cause massive drama in the past. And hopefully, that won't be the case this time. We got some people in the chats over there. We got some people in the chats, so keep those chats coming. Gabriel De Santos, Logan Galdenes, Aiden, Anthony Wilson says he's from Team ECGT. Anthony Wilson in the comments section there. Oh no, Luke Phillips says his PC disconnected unexpectedly. So that's where Luke went. That's the Luke Phillips car. Gabriel De Santos says no. And rightly so. That was kind of my response to Gabriel. That was kind of my response to Brandon Robert there in 4th place now. Brandon Robert was catching Luke, but then Luke responded by going 2 seconds a lap faster. So Robert was running as high as third place earlier on, started in sixth, now finds himself in fourth. So that's very good from him. Brandon Robert, I'm sure he's quite happy with that. Yeah, Robert not even in our championship standings. So very good performance from him. As Tristan Nobriga leads us off. Brandon Robert over there in fourth place. Oh, this is Lucchese and Robert. Oh, sorry, that's a back marker. I apologize. That is Lucchese on a back marker. That is Lucchese on a back marker. So Lucchese in third place at the moment. And let's look at the championship standings. Hillebrand in sixth place was fifth in the championship. Smith was looking good, threatening for third, is now out of the race thanks to a PC disconnecting. Luke Lucchese all the way down in the championship, surprisingly down in seventh, now finds himself third. Labuskachny, who was ninth, I think Labuskachny is going to jump quite far up, man. He's got second place locked and loaded. All he's got to do is circulate now for the next 25 minutes, pop into the pits to get some tires, or at least get some for his mandatory pit stop, and then yeah, that's it. That's all he's got to do. If he can do that, then he could see himself all the way up the order, flying up the order, grabbing those 30 plus points, and hopefully securing himself a seat at the ATK Champs of Champs happening later this year. Someone comes out the pits. Tristan Nobriga. Julien gets a penalty. Luke Lucchese still in third. Andre Hillebrand there in sixth place. The battle for P5 is 3.7 seconds. And remember, Hillebrand is also fifth in the championship. So this is the closest battle on circuit at the moment. Andre Hillebrand in sixth place. He was down in 11th early on. So another hard charger is Hillebrand. So oftentimes we don't look at the guys further down the order, but Hillebrand was down in 11th position at the start of this race and started in 7th, but also got caught up in the melee early on. He basically just got held up. It doesn't look like he managed to pick up any damage, but he just got held up at the start with that start line debacle we saw early on. And for those of you that missed it, what happened was our man, Seradio, stalled it on the start line. And even though you see a DNF next to his name there, that's not the reason he DNF'd. He managed to push all the way right to the top of the order. Was about to get second place man. I was chasing down second place man, rather. And then, looks like he got disconnected. We're waiting from him to give us some feedback via Discord as to what exactly happened. Yeah, confirmed Andre Seradio disconnected. Absolutely gutted, he says. Absolutely gutted. So, Andre Seradio, what a disappointing end to things today. And, yeah, what a lap, says Johan Labuskachny in the chat. That's from earlier on. Dennis Mitchell asked Andre Seradio what happened, and he said that he got disconnected. So that is not ideal. We've got 22 minutes of racing left. And yeah, this is just not ideal for Seradio. We were hoping to see a Grand Slam finish from him. And the problem when you get disconnected so suddenly, it's so jarring as well. And then you think to yourself, is this going to happen again? What's happening in race 2? He's going to need to get his head right for race 2. Dennis Mitchell in the Discord says, fingers crossed, race 2, you have great results there. He's definitely got the pace though. Gerrit van Vieren asked if Rfactor2 is at ATK Arena, and one of our staffers there commented, yes sir, our rigs have all the major racing simulators. Yeah, I've been there. I've played Assetto Corsa, both versions. You've got Rfactor2. Oh, big sideways moment there from one of the Lambos. You've got the rally games, of course. You've got Dirt is there, as mentioned. And then there's a game that I used to play, but I can't even remember the name now, because all I've been playing is Assetto Corsa. We're just waiting for my producer. WRC9, and then of course the other racing sim also they're available. I can't even remember, but you know, when you log into ATK computers, it's firstly when you walk in there, it's like walking into a toy store. And then when you log into the sim, you see all the different games at your disposal. F1 games, of course. So whatever you're into, you can pop into ATK. They've got some fantastic deals. Spend lots of time in the rigs there. State-of-the-art rigs. Always upgrading. There's even a direct drive wheel available to drive to the public, which is just nuts. I mean, I wouldn't let anybody touch my direct drive wheel if it was mine. But ATK has opened their one up to the public. And then, of course, T300s as well in the mix there as well, which I sit on for my drift practice sessions. I actually went drifting today at Kyalami for the motor show, and it was good to dial in at the ATK sim just to get dialed in and get zoned in. I'm sure most of you guys do that, do real world racing as well, like Tristan and Luke Lucchesi and others get dialed in on the sim. But today De Nobrega is dialed in for the sim in first place by leading by 10 seconds. Luke Lucchesi a further 23 seconds back on Labuschagne. Labuschagne, I'm sure, will be quite happy with this result so far. Oh, 20 minutes remaining as the drivers keep circulating. So let's walk us through a lap of the circuit as we go on board with your leader, Tristan De Nobrega, as he comes through. Look at that South African flag over there, or at least the asphalt section, and then you're going to see the South African flag on the final corner up ahead. An iconic section of circuit, and there you go on the bumper cam. This is as close to the action as you're going to get. Down the main straight they go. Over 200 k's an hour, closer to 50 kilometers an hour. Tristan De Nobrega keeps it to the right-hand side now, gets hard on the brakes for the left-hander. And then this corner is such an interesting curve. You've got to sacrifice a little bit here. Keep it a bit more left than you should, and watch that. And now goes through the next right-hander, and then sets it up once again for the following left towards Sunset. They've just now come out of Barbecue, Yixkay and Crowthorne. Now down Sunset towards Clubhouse. And turn 6, as they say, hard and fast through this corner. Downforce will be pushing the car down. And this is turn 7, the Clubhouse. And all these corners have very significant names and meanings. Don't ask me what exactly they are, but any of the locals will tell you as they go through the S's, turns 8 and 9. Some cars grab more curb than others over there. Some of the guys actually miss the curbs depending on the type of car, the setup you're running. Aim for the tree. You see the tree directly in front of you there. I'm sure Tristan would have been around you many times with these National Series races, so he would know exactly what's going on with that tree. When they say aim for the tree, it sounds a bit weird, but you kind of got to do it. Yeah, now the mine shaft, one of the most iconic corners in South African motorsport. The fastest sweep on the circuit. And then into the Crocodiles, turn 13 and 14. This jink to the left is actually a corner, and then Cheetah. Watch the sausage curve on the right-hand side there. Don't jump it too hard. And then finally, Ingwe, which is the last left-hander. If I'm not mistaken, Ingwe means Jaguar. Or I apologize. What's the other big cat's name again? I should probably know this. Whew. 143.0 across the line. 143.0 across the line goes Tristan Denobriga, your leader. Only Lucchesi is currently faster than him. Yeah, and just to be clear, Ingwe means leopard in isiXhosa. So there you go, folks. A lap of the circuit. Luke Lucchesi still in third place. And looks like the pit stops are now starting. Oh, Tian Marais in the wall. Team ECG Tian Marais in the wall there. So Luke Lucchesi gets the second position, but not for long. The pit stops are now starting to take place. Just 16 minutes. We've seen Tristan Denobriga actually miss his final pit stop. If I'm not mistaken, he went in on the last lap, which I think didn't even count. So some of the guys have left the pit stop still way too long. Some of the guys have left their pit stops for way, way, way too late. Hopefully today is not the case. Luke Lucchesi now makes his way around. In the Ferrari Kessel Racing car. Fitting there, Coach Dave Academy on the screen, of course, a driver for Kessel Racing. Puma, also one of our sponsors. 15 minutes of racing left. And the action still continues here, but the championship consequences are quite real at this stage, especially for Denobriga. Labuschagne as well in the mix there. But these guys are really wanting to make sure that they seal that deal for the Champs of Champs event. There goes Luke Lucchesi in second place now. Wow, Luke Lucchesi really doing well to carve his way back up the field after a very tumultuous start. A couple of mistakes here and there, but this just goes to show Luke's out and out pace. Lucchesi has been down the order. I mean, he was running 5th at one stage. And Johan Labuschagne now finds himself in a battle sandwich. Eight seconds ahead in front of him is the next driver, and 7 seconds behind him is Robert. So the race for second, third, and fourth is on between Lucchesi, Labuschagne, and Robert. We've only got 15 minutes of racing left or thereabouts. And these drivers really have been pushing exceptionally hard. Labuschagne in third place there. Keep those comments coming in the comment section, guys. As mentioned, unfortunately, my teammate isn't here today. Tristan goes into the pits. My teammate isn't here today with me. So if you guys could keep me company, that would be fantastic. As we watch once again, as there goes Luke Lucchesi. Denobriga's in the pits. So there we go. Now we're going to see what's going to happen. Lucchesi still has to pit, though. I mean, I apologize. Yeah, there we go. So back into the lead goes Lucchesi. Denobriga just coming out the pits. I just want to confirm with my producer, Lucchesi still has to pit. Lucchesi still has to pit. And that would then slot him back further down the order. Labuschagne also still has to pit. Of course, Denobriga was leading the entire race for quite some time. So Lucchesi still needs to pit. Labuschagne the same. Denobriga now finds himself third, but at least that pit stop is done for him. We've seen him have some problems before, where he left the pit stops for a little bit too late. And now he's done it much, much earlier. He's got about 13 minutes left of racing to go. And hopefully these guys will be able to complete the race without much more issues. We don't want to see any more disconnections. Tristan de Nobrega in third position, but technically first on track. There goes de Nobrega now. Quite some distance behind, but that distance will quickly disappear once the pit stops happen. And you can see in the background the rest of the cars making their way around the circuit. This frankly gigantic circuit, the Kyalami International Raceway. A very, very big track is this one. And owned by Toby Fenter as of 2014. Has hosted multiple international events with a total distance of 4.529 kilometers, 16 corners. Johan Labuschagne, though, has been slowly gaining on Luke Lucchesi the last couple of laps, with a 7-second gap now dropping slowly. With 11 minutes to go, I wonder if that's going to make a difference. 11 minutes to go. I'm hoping that's not going to make a difference. But this means we do get a grandstand finish as we make our way to the final stages. There goes Johan Labuschagne in second position. Luke Lucchesi leading, and look at that gap dropping from 7 seconds to 6 seconds. There goes Johan Labuschagne again as he crosses the line with a 10-minute remaining board coming up. And that gap dropped by a full second on that lap. As Labuschagne starts to catch Lucchesi hand over fist. .6 seconds between them now. Earlier on, just moments ago, we saw that gap at 7 seconds. Now all of a sudden, the gap much bigger, or smaller at least. Down now into the 4-second range. Whew, wait for it. Labuschagne 5.4 seconds down. Of course, the gaps in this sim are dynamic, so that means that you're seeing it live as it's happening in and out of the corners. Of course, you get a little bit of the concertina effect. Johan's last lap with... Oh, Labuschagne runs wide there. Labuschagne runs wide. And there goes Luke Lucchesi into the pits. So this would mean that Labuschagne and de Nobrega come past, unless Labuschagne also goes to pit. Labuschagne takes the lead. There he goes. And he's going to want to make sure. So this is going to be for position when they come out once again. And let's watch these two. Let's watch Labuschagne, because once he pits, Lucchesi's going to try and get ahead of him after his pit stop. De Nobrega should overtake Lucchesi shortly. New best lap time from de Nobrega with a 39.8. De Nobrega gets a 39.8. And there goes Lucchesi. De Nobrega just passes him. So de Nobrega Tristan slips past and regains his second place. But hopefully for him, he will regain first place shortly after this. As Labuschagne still needs to put Robert in 4th place there. Van der Walt, Nixon, Van Rooyen, Hillebrand still in the mix. There goes Lucchesi rotating that car. Currently in 3rd place. And let's keep eyes on Labuschagne if we can. I'd like to see if we can get eyes on Labuschagne. There we go. He should pit momentarily. No, he doesn't. Labuschagne leaving it to the last, leaving it to the end. Clearly his car is still performing well. De Nobrega gets the fastest lap by a mile at this stage. So got a 1:39 early on, gets another one now. And De Nobrega is by far the fastest. So really stamping down his authority there. He's trying hard to make sure that he gets ahead of Labuschagne. But Labuschagne has got Lucchesi to worry about. 25 seconds the distance between him and Lucchesi. And once Labuschagne pits, that's when we're going to see if he's going to be able to get past the hard charging Lucchesi. Lucchesi really doing well. I mean, some of these guys have done so well over the last couple, simply because they've just managed to maintain, and they've managed to keep their composure, get those fast laps after a disastrous start for some. We saw early on this race really did not start or go according to plan for some of these drivers. Oh, Tristan de Nobrega still sliding. There goes Tristan de Nobrega now. Labuschagne still hasn't pitted yet. Still 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. I hope he knows that there's a mandatory pit stop waiting for him there. Johan Labuschagne still your leader. 4 minutes ago, he's got to make that pit stop. He can't make the pit stop on the final lap. We saw that the last time. It causes massive problems, and you could get penalized. You're not allowed to cross the finish line in the pit stop, if I'm not mistaken. We saw that earlier on the season. And there goes Labuschagne. Down the mine shaft once again. He has to pit this lap. He absolutely has to pit this lap. And if he doesn't pit this lap, this could be disastrous for him. Maybe the next lap there's an opportunity, but oh, locks up there ever so slightly. Let's see if he's now able to get that pit stop going. P7, there is a battle raging for P7. Here goes Labuschagne. Let's see if he pits. No, he doesn't. Labuschagne leaving it once again to the last. This is for P7 now at this stage. Andre Hillebrand. Van Rooyen. And let's see if Hillebrand's able to get past. Hillebrand has a look. They go down the mineshaft once again. Porsche versus Ferrari. We've seen this battle unfold many times. Look at that mistake there from Van Rooyen. Hillebrand touches. Oh, they're going down the mineshaft side by side. New best lap there for De Nobrega once again. And Hillebrand has to back out of that. We cut to Tristan there. Beautiful cut there from our producer. As Tristan de Nobrega in second place sets the fastest lap. 39.2. Still 9 seconds behind. I just want to confirm. Has Labuschagne pitted yet? I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And he is catching. He has not pitted, so he has to pit very soon. But this is not looking good here. This is not looking good for Labuschagne. He's got to make that pit stop count as soon as possible. Lucchesi now with a 24-second gap, so the gap has dropped ever so slightly. The last couple of minutes of racing left, 2 minutes to go. Labuschagne in first place, Nobrega in second, Lucchesi third, fourth Robert. Van der Walt, Nickers and Hillebrand and Van Rooyen make up the rest of the field. Here comes the Nobrega now, your, by all accounts, leader of this race. There goes Johan Labuschagne, your current leader. And this has to surely be the moment where he pits. He's trying to get past Luke Lucchesi, or make sure Luke Lucchesi doesn't get him. Oh my goodness me. Oh. Labuschagne is not pitting. The pit stop, folks, is mandatory. And he will not get to the pit stop in time, I don't think. The pit stop, as mentioned, is a mandatory pit stop. There goes Johan Labuschagne, still your leader. So if Johan crosses the line in first, there will be a post-race penalty that he will have to face. And that will not be ideal for him. We might have pitted and he didn't notice, but I'm not sure. The stewards will have to investigate that. But currently, Johan Labuschagne is your leader. I don't think so. I can look through the stream that I've got going here, and I don't think he pitted. I don't think Johan Labuschagne pitted. Tristan de Nobrega went off into the lead, and he was able to maintain that lead for the longest time. And Johan Labuschagne somehow finds himself in first place, but maybe... Oh, he's not going to pit. Johan Labuschagne is not going to pit at all. And I wonder what this means for him and his race winning performance here. The post-race penalties will go through later on. Whew. Provisionally, Johan Labuschagne is the winner. Johan Labuschagne is the winner. I don't think he's pitted. I'm looking at the gaps now, and the gap has gone and come and gone the entire time. I don't think Johan Labuschagne has pitted. Across the line goes Luke Lucchesi in third place. De Nobrega, we've missed him. He is your winner by all accounts, but we have to wait for that result to be finalized. There goes Brandon Robert in fourth place, Team ECGT. And wow, this has been a strange turn of events. We've seen this before, though. And just going through my playback here, I don't think Labuschagne pitted. It just looks like he hasn't pitted at all, and he now finds himself currently crossing the line. Well, we're going to go to an ad, folks, and we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned. Race 2 continues in the Rfactor Challenge here at the Mercedes-Benz ATK Pro Series, powered by Mercedes. My name is Mercedes-Page. I'll see you guys after the break.
Welcome to Africa's first ROG arena. Woo!
There we go, folks. There is your podium with Luke Lucchesi in third place, Tristan and Obriga, the heir apparent, in second place, and Jan Labuschagne gets first position. And I'm looking forward to having that conversation with these guys. But first, we're going to get Luke Lucchesi into the chat with us quickly and find out from him how that race was. The pace, though, as mentioned from Luke, has always been there. Just not able to string together the performances that he wants to, but has been on the podium many times before. I still think he's one of the fastest guys out there, and on any given day, he could be your winner or championship contender. So looking forward to chatting to Luke. And then, of course, as mentioned, Tristan Nobriga, your championship leader at the moment. So we're just waiting for Luke to enter the chat, and then we can chat to him about that race. Find out what it was like for him. Luke, how's it going? Ernest Page here. And I understand you are third place, man. Geez, some fast laps there, bro. How was that?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, Ernest, how's it?
How's it? There's some pumping some hot laps out there, bro. How was that for you?
Very slippery.
Really? It looked like you guys were able to rotate the cars smoothly, but I would imagine inside the cockpit it wasn't quite that easy.
Yeah, it's when you get to mid-corner, the car wants to over-rotate, and then the rear wants to step out. So when you should start getting on the gas, you can't, because otherwise it'll just turn you around. It's my own fault. I mean, I didn't do any practice or anything like this. We actually ran the setup from, I think, Bakisa.
Oh no!
Tweaked a little bit, and
see now I've got no sympathy for you, bro, because this is what I've been saying. You've always got the pace, though. I mean, it's that ingredient. You've always got that pace. I mean, what's the secret? You're not that familiar with Rfactor2, but you're still very fast here.
I think the driving principles are the same throughout the sims. You know, hit your apexes, get your braking points right. So I think the key mistake that most people make is they start overdriving the car. Yeah. And when you overdrive the car, then you cook the tires. I mean, look, in this, the tires go off like
they do.
Yeah, like very badly. But yeah, the actual just driving techniques are very similar between the sims. You know, you just got to hit your marks and not overdrive the car.
You were chasing down Labuschagne. He didn't pit by the looks of things. What are your thoughts on that?
No, he pitted. He just didn't take tires.
Oh my goodness, we missed that pit stop completely. And by all accounts, even my producer's telling me that he might not have pitted. So we're going to find out soon enough exactly what's going on there. You think that Johan Labuschagne pitted and could have won this race?
Did win the race.
Oh my goodness me, this is turning out to be an interesting turn of events. Luke Lucchesi, congratulations on your third place.
Thanks.
Always fast. And I look forward to seeing what else you can do. Hopefully we'll see you at the Champs of Champs. It's not over yet. One more race to go. We'll see you at race 2.
Perfect. Thanks. Cheers.
Here we go. Next up will be Tristan and Nobriga. So I just want my producer to confirm if we can confirm that pit stop. By all accounts, Luke Lucchesi seems to think that Jan Labuschagne did pit, just didn't stop for tires. That would have been a splash and dash, and then we totally missed that. Unfortunately, we will have him with us soon, and then we can get that all cleared up. But first, let's chat to Tristan de Nobriga and find out from him what he has to say. Tristan, one of the fastest men on this sim at the moment, and we just got confirmation that Labuschagne did in fact pit, and we missed that on screen by the looks of things, and you managed to get second place. I thought you had this in the bag. What happened? You were so fast.
How's it, Ernest? How are you?
I was very good. I saw you the other day driving around Kyalami, focused as ever. How was today for you?
Yeah, not too bad. I think strategy just caught me out a bit. I couldn't do my usual no tire run. For some reason, the tire wear on this track is just insane.
Ah, I see.
So I was actually chatting to Johan now. He opted to not go for tires at all.
Yes.
So I obviously changed all 4. So that cost me 40 seconds in the pits. And then obviously I had to play catch up, which I managed to do. Only finished 4 seconds behind him. So I think if I had done it a bit sooner, probably would have had a nice battle at the end there. But otherwise, happy with P2, and it was a good pace. And yeah, it was good fun.
Look, we tipped Labuschagne to have serious pace this weekend, and from your perspective, it's really all about the championship, isn't it? It's about making sure that you win this championship, try not to take too many risks, and at the moment, you're very much on pace to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Just bank the points and just keep going. So another P2. I think I haven't finished lower than P2 this championship so far. It's either P1s or P2.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's going good, and just carrying the momentum and carry on.
Well, I think it's that's exactly what you're doing, and that's exactly what you need to do. Congratulations on that podium, and congratulations on yet another step to the top of the championship podium. We'll see you in race 2.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, man, chat soon. So I've got to take my foot out of my mouth and chat to Johan Labuschagne. I think I owe that man an apology. Johan Labuschagne, I think I owe you an apology, sir. I missed your pit stop. And yeah, I missed your pit stop, and I thought that I'm looking through the stream now. Barto pointed it out. I'm just looking through the stream, and you did pit, and in fact, you didn't go for tires, which was a very strange situation compared to the rest of your compatriots. So you won this race fair and square, top of the step. I didn't see that coming. Congratulations, Jan. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So what was the difference? We saw in the Discord that you were tipped to have some extra pace. You were tipped to be fast, which you were. But the strategy just worked out in the end, man. How are you managing to save those tires?
I just assumed everybody was going to try save tires and not change tires, so kind of lucked into it in the end, I guess. But yeah, I ended up being quite slow in my first stint because I'd miscalculated my fuel, and I was trying to do maths while trying to drive.
Oh, not good.
So I was probably saving fuel and saving tires at the same time, so
yes,
I got lucky.
So, but you were running so well all the time. You're running second the entire time and slightly falling back on Tristan. And I must be honest with you, I kind of thought, okay, cool, Tristan's got this one in the bag. His pit stops are usually quite solid. His tire management is usually quite solid. But you've outplayed him at his own game at this stage, it seems. How confident are you going into the next round?
Well, I just assumed he was going to just stop for fuel, so I was backing off, and Andre Serodia was also catching me, so I was happy to just fall back and run my pace, because I don't have the outright pace of these guys, but yeah, in the end, yeah, I guess I got a little bit lucky, but managed to make the tires last.
Well, to finish first, you must first finish, and that's exactly what you did. Congratulations, Jan Labuschagne. I certainly have still got some debris from my foot that was in my mouth earlier on. But thanks for that fantastic performance. I'll be watching out for you now more so in the second race. I'll see you in race 2.
100, thanks guys.
Cheers. Well, there you go, folks. That is Johan Labuschagne, your winner of this race. We're going to sign off for a couple of minutes. We'll be back at 4 o'clock for the second round and the final round of the day of this, the ATK Pro Series, powered by Mercedes-Benz. Of course, they are using the sim. This is Rfactor2, and these drivers are going to be competing at Kyalami Raceway. We'll see you guys in the next couple of minutes, 10 minutes time or so. Get ready on the start line. I'll see you there. Well, folks, we are back once again. Well, I'm back once again, joined unfortunately not by Stephen Koenig. He's out at the races in Dalmas and was going to come to us live from there, but unfortunately, he did not make it because of technical issues at the circuit out of his control. But we are here, folks, to watch race 2 of this event. And of course, we're about to start the second race after a very interesting first race. And we saw early on Labuschagne gets the win. And I'm still got the taste of feet in my mouth, my own for that matter, because unfortunately I missed that pit stop from him. He didn't stop for tires, which was the deciding factor in that race, which put him right at the top of the standings. So Labuschagne gets first place, followed by our man from Cape Town. And there go the drivers now. De Nobrega got second earlier on. And Labuschagne got first. We see Labuschagne now in fourth place. Serradio back on the server. Serradio earlier on, Andre Serradio had a disconnect issue. And unfortunately found himself at the wrong end of a disconnection. Let's check out the order though of what the guys are looking like on the grid at the moment. There you go. We've got De Nobrega, Lucchesi, Serradio, Labuschagne. The top four guys, really anybody can win this one. We've seen it. I've got to be honest, I knew Labuschagne was fast, but I didn't think he was going to be able to take the win. Marais in fifth place, Hillebrand in sixth, Brandon Robert, Hilton Nickerson in eighth place. So now we've got a 4-horse race, because I think the top 4 drivers can definitely take this one. Julian 9th, Tiaan van Rooyen in 10th, David van der Walt followed by Luke in 12th in the Porsche. And he also got disconnected early on. There he is in the Golf Porsche further back. And then Ethan Smith right behind him also got DC in the Ferrari earlier on. Smith got a penalty in race 1 though, as they're now going to race 2. And again, a 4-horse race, I think, is in the cards here today. Let's see how that goes. And let's see how these drivers end up doing. Julian will now start last from inside the pit. He didn't make it to the grid, so let's see how he does. As here they come now onto the main straight. De Nobrega leads us off, and Lucchesi in second place. It's going to be a rolling start this time. Off they go. Much easier this time, much better start. De Nobrega and Lucchesi side by side. De Nobrega still in the lead, goes for the inside line. Excuse me, Lucchesi around the outside. They're going into the first corner. There's a little bit of pandemonium there. Up, so Radio slots into second place. Lucchesi has to slot back. The Radio maintains second position. Lucchesi goes into third. Mareng fourth. Labuschagne down in fifth place, but Labuschagne does have pace. Let's see now what happens once the dust settles. We've seen Seradio as well demonstrate incredible pace today. And just look at that, all over the back of Seradio, De Nobrega. I think Seradio's got the race-winning pace if he can string it together. We saw that earlier on. Lucchesi hits the bump, still in third place. Labuschagne now in fourth place. Maree in fifth. Hillebrand behind that. Robert, Van der Walt, Nickerson, Luke, Smith, Van Rooyen and Julian we saw starting from the pits earlier. Here comes Seradio now. I wonder if De Nobrega is just going to let him by. He doesn't want to get involved in a tussle that could jeopardize anything to do with his championship or his trip to the ATK finals, Champs of Champs. But here comes Seradio now into the final sector of the first lap. Seradio gets right up on the back bumper. Project Vapor car there in second place, right behind De Nobrega. And this is going to be very interesting as they make their way now onto the final corner. And De Nobrega goes slightly defensive, but I do think Seradio's got the pace in him. Look at that. Seradio not yielding at all. Luke Lucchesi watching on in third position. Labuschagne in fourth place now. So the top four guys, as mentioned, back into their positions, albeit slightly different from the starting order. Lucchesi was in second, Labuschagne was in fourth. Now Seradio and Labuschagne have swapped positions, and Seradio now with immense pressure on either side, but he is so much faster. Oh, look at that, sideways. I do think he's quite a bit faster than De Nobrega. And even after bouncing over those curves, he still finds himself within striking distance, but it does look like Lucchesi has come ever so slightly closer. A four-man race at this stage with Labuschagne watching on. Just behind that, Maree also in the mix. But the top three now are really clustered together as we cut further back. And there goes Luke. We mentioned earlier on in the Golf car. Got disconnected early on, unfortunately. And I'm not sure their front bumper's missing or what, but Luke there in the Golf car. And there goes the top guys once again. De Nobrega leads us off. Seradio in second place. Lucchesi in third. Labuschagne in fourth. Maree in fifth position. Hillebrand in sixth place. How will this turn out? So far, so good for Seradio. He's still in the race, which is all he really wanted at this stage. I'm sure it's the curb there quite hard. As they now go into the next left-hander, the final corner of the second lap. And this is going to be all to play for the top two drivers as the next two start to tussle with each other. De Nobrega gets the fastest lap, so De Nobrega now starting to drop the hammer a little bit. 141. We saw him early on with the fastest lap of the race quite comfortably. So maybe he's got more pace. Definitely he's got consistency on his side. We see De Nobrega able to get those consistent lap times. And if he's able to do that, it's really about staying out ahead there and making sure you don't make any mistakes. For those guys watching the stream, Gabriel dos Santos, Gerrit van Vieren, Ethan Smith, Harry Spears, Aiden, thanks for keeping me company during this. Unfortunately, I've got no co-commentator at the moment, so it's just you and me. As Seradio still within striking distance, the gap changing ever so slightly between 3 and 4, but the top 4 well within eye shot of each other. And look at that, Seradio grabbing that curb there in the BMW. Tristan Nobriga under immense pressure now. So they go into the top section there. Oh, Tristan lets him through. Oh, did he? Side by side. Denobriga versus Seradio. This is the lead battle. Seradio's got the inside line. Denobriga has the run. Denobriga gets the run into the sweep at the bottom of the mine shaft. And I thought he was letting him go there, but that was just a tactic to get the better drive out the corner. The BMW does look exceptionally fast in the early stages of the race. And for such a big car, look at how close he is on the back bumper. They're bouncing over the curbs there as they go into the final corner now into the main straight. Tristan Denobriga leads us off onto the finish of the lap. The next two coming into view, slides into view, does fourth place man Labuskachny, your winner from race 1. Labuskachny, Denobriga sets the best time, but Labuskachny started to fall back a little bit. We saw that he was able to maintain first place by managing tires. He didn't change tires, he saved the tires all through the race. A risky strategy, but it paid off. Will we be able to do it again? There go your leaders. First place, Denobriga, fastest lap of the race as well. Seradio still on his tail. And how is Seradio able to stay within striking distance if Tristan's able to do such fast laps one after the next? Look at that. Look at that, Andre Seradio. So fast. Tristan Denobriga, fastest lap, your leader. Luke Lucchesi just watching this on, waiting for a mistake from either of them. But the guys have been quite neat when it comes to not taking each other out. The BMW very fast through the top of the hill, but not quite as fast in the downhill section here. You'd think it would be quite fast, judging by how big and heavy it is compared to the rest of the field, but these cars are all BOP'd, of course, so they all balanced out eventually. As the BMW makes its way through in second place, nose to tail. Seradio looking good so far, able to maintain composure, hits the curb once again. He really does take a lot of curve there. Is he going to look down the inside? No, he doesn't. Goes quite wide there, but still maintains striking distance. So does Lucchesi. Less than a second separates the top 3 drivers, further 0.6 back. Lucchesi gets the fastest lap now. Lucchesi now starts putting the hammer down, gets closer to the action. Lucchesi looking on from third position. Labuskachny in fourth place, Murray and the rest of the guys further down the field. As these four, the top 4, battle it out. So we got ourselves a 4-horse race, folks. Earlier on, it was a little bit more tactical, a little bit more spread out. And we saw pit stops winning the day. But now, it's all about pace, pace, pace as they make their way through sunset. Down the hill they go. Into the braking zone now. The Mercedes, or at least the BMW over there, trying hard to get down the inside. And the Ferrari looking on in third place. But you do have a lead Ferrari over there, and that is Denobriga, who has to accept massive, massive pressure. Oh, down the inside. A blocking maneuver there. Tries to defend. Does Denobriga. And Seradio starts to lose out. Denobriga gets a good exit out the top of the hill there, doesn't he? As they go into the braking zone now, and just watch that BMW catch up. Solid braking from Seradio. A little bit defensive there from Denobriga. Seradio using the entire width of the circuit there as they go over the bump once again. Does he take it? Yes, he does. The BMW just jumps over that bump there, and that's how he's able to catch these guys into these sections. Tries for the cutback. Denobriga goes defensive. Very smart line use there. Very smart use of the line there by Denobriga. Clearly some experience coming into play there. New best lap by Lucchesi once again. Lucchesi now starting to get pace, pace, pace on his side. Lucchesi's going down the inside line. He's going to have a look on the BMW now. The BMW now finding himself under pressure from Lucchesi, also having to apply pressure to Denobriga. 2 Ferraris with a BMW in between, sandwiched in between. Hold the sauce, says Seradio. This is not a BMW sandwich. Tries to get away. But Lucchesi is the fastest man on circuit at the moment. Through Sunset Sweep they go. Bumper cam as we watch on from third position. Let's see if anybody's going to go for a move here. Oh, side by side they go. He goes for the move, gets past. He goes for the move, gets past. A brilliant move there from Seradio. Fantastic performance from him. They were totally up against each other, paint swapping, but no aggression. And both of them held their quarter. I thought for sure De Nobrega was going to be able to hold him off there going defensive, but now De Nobrega finds himself under pressure from Lucchesi in the sister car. And Lucchesi mentioned earlier, these cars are quite difficult to control after mid-corner phase. Mid-corner phase, they start oversteering and rotating. You got to maintain that rotation all the way through the third phase, the exit phase. But at the moment, look at Seradio. Seradio's got some pace in hand there. Definitely he's got some pace in hand. Immediately steps ahead. 50 minutes remaining, 10 minutes down. And the first 10 minutes has been, dare I say, quite a bit more exciting than the first 60 minutes of this race, of the previous race. And now there goes Seradio with the best lap once again. So Seradio had the pace all along. He just didn't have the clear air. So Seradio certainly got the pace today, but it's not all about outright pace. It's about tire management, it's about fuel management, and it's about strategy. And we saw that early on paying off for Labuschagne, who managed to get the win based on a strategy call that even I missed early on. So Labuschagne, let's not count him out just yet. Oh, somebody spun out. Somebody spun out. That looks like De Nobrega. The first mistake of the season for De Nobrega. We've seen him make some mistakes in the pit lane. Watch out for the rest of the cars. Oh no, the Lamborghini collects him. Oh no, De Nobrega takes up one of his competitors. Does another one. Does another one. De Nobrega reverses in uncharacteristic fashion and takes out two Lamborghinis. It was as if he was aiming towards him. And there seems to be somebody else stuck on the side there. The cars can't even drive straight. I think De Nobrega might be out of this race. He's going to try and limp to the pits. Oh my goodness me. Brandon and Hilton both get taken out. Teammates get taken out. And Tristan officially DNFs. And now I find myself running to the championship standings. Oh my goodness me. I just need my director my producer to confirm this. Was that the first mistake we've seen of Tristan De Nobrega in the last couple of races? I think that might have been. I think that might have been one of the first mistakes we've seen of Tristan. Other than some issues in the pit lane, that could be Tristan De Nobrega's very first mistake. And an incredible mistake it is. He loses it coming out of Sunset over there. Loses it, and it's such a rookie mistake. I didn't expect it from him. Reverses the car onto circuit and reverses the car into oncoming traffic. At that point there, he could have just turned left and swung the car back around the other way. Reverses it onto oncoming traffic and then gets collected by two teammate Hilton Nickerson, limping his way through to the pit lane now is Nickerson. And I think it was Robert, I'm not mistaken, who also got taken out there. Robert also goes into the pits. So Nickerson and Robertson going in for repairs, and this will be their mandatory pit stop. So they will go in for their pit stop now, get it over with, and get some repairs done, some very expensive repairs done on the Lamborghini as De Nobrega DNFs. Whew. Jeez, I wish I had a co-commentator now because I need someone to talk to. Your leader, there he goes. That is Tristan De Nobrega, almost said that. That is Andre Seradio, your leader over there, and he manages to make his way into the lead. And I'm gonna go onto the stream now and rewatch that incident to try and make sense of all of this, as we saw him coming out the corner, just oversteered on his own, spun the car onto the other side of the circuit, collected the wall lightly, tries to turn around and then stops, reverses onto the circuit and gets collected by, dodges two cars. The first of the Lamborghinis hits him and reverses further back and hits another Lambo coming through. And that was the two cars of Nickerson and Robertson we saw earlier on. Their teammate, I think Hillebrand, gets through. There was Tia Marais And we see on screen Tianmere goes into 4th place, and that was him that managed to dodge the melee debacle, what was happening on the circuit. I'm lost for words here. And unbelievable, unbelievable stuff there. Tristan Nodriga in the pits now with a very damaged Ferrari, and this has now suddenly taken a turn, folks. Tianmere in 4th place as we go back to the action. Labuskachny finds himself in 3rd place, your previous race winner. Lucchesi in 2nd place. I do think, however, that he has done enough as Denogriga to maintain his championship lead. But I'm going to have to wait and see. I need to get onto my Discord here and go check those championship points again. I'm sure I downloaded that file somewhere, but now I've got to find it. I wasn't expecting to look at it again mid-race quite yet. I was expecting to maybe glance at it later on. But geez Louise, what an incident. And that certainly has spiced things up a little bit, hasn't it, guys? That certainly has spiced things up ever so slightly. As I pull up the championship standings. This is 4th and 5th place. Battling it out. You see 6th place further back ever so slightly. So the racing is continuing as we look at the championship standings. And in 1st place is the Nobriga with a 50-point lead as of the end of race 1. Seradio was his nearest competitor on track at the moment. Barkheisen's not here. And Seradio didn't finish the previous race. So I do think by all accounts, Tristan will still be in the lead of this championship by quite some margin. Smith also didn't finish the previous race. He's in 4th place in the championship. Hillebrand is 5th. So John Labuskachny, who won the previous race, I think is the man to watch at the moment. So is Lucchesi. Labuskachny and Lucchesi definitely will get much, much closer to the top of the standings. I think the standings are going to be shuffled completely after this race. But certainly Tristan does look like his position is safe. And there goes Tianmere getting overtaken by Hillebrand. Hillebrand, as mentioned, is 5th place. They go through the S's now, side by side. Hillebrand grabs the curbs and also grabs that position. Tianmere looking very fast there, though, in 5th place. Looking very fast. Yeah, he lost his wheel the previous race, did not get to finish, and now finds himself in 5th place. So, so far so good for him. As we make our way now into the 2nd quarter of this 50 or this 60-minute race. And there goes the Lamborghini now into the left-hander. Across the line will the Lamborghini go. Just behind the 4th place man, Hildebrand. Hildebrand 5th place in the championship at the moment, but a lot will change after today, I tell you that. Oh, goes down the inside, that's Tianmere. Has a look, oh, gets his nose cut off. Hillebrand runs a little bit wide though, Mare's still in it. Goes side by side, Mare cuts him off, Hillebrand has to back out, and now Hillebrand finds himself under pressure once again by Smith. Smith tries to get past, oh, they touch. That was the lightest of touches there. I cannot believe he managed to get away from that. Ethan Smith backs up, but now Ethan Smith with big pressure into Sunset, applying that pressure now onto Hillebrand. Hillebrand on the defensive now, with Smith having a look all over the place. And there comes Hillebrand now, or at least comes Smith. Behind that is Van der Walt. A very, very tough tussle happening here between all of these drivers. On board with Andre Hillebrand now. Behind that, as mentioned, is Smith. Behind that, Van der Walt. And in front of all of this is Mare with a short distance. And there you have it. That's what it looks like. Mare got overtaken, retook the position back again, and now is facing massive pressure from 2 drivers, with a 3rd one in tow. Ooh, look at that. Smith looking quite racy out there. Smith 4th position in the championship coming into this weekend. So Smith is no slouch, unfortunately getting disconnected in the previous race. They go into the final sector, running quite wide, just touching that last piece of grass over there onto the last corner, and now onto the main straight. Here we go. It's a drag race to the finish. Oh, Tian Marais makes a mistake. Tian Marais makes a mistake, and so does Hillebrand. Hillebrand now under massive pressure from Smith. Smith going down the inside. Smith's going to try and get him under braking. They go into the second turn, hard on the brakes. They both dive down the inside. Smith holds the line, but no. Gets the nose cut off there by Hillebrand. Marais somehow manages to stay in front even after that oversteer moment on the exit of the final corner. And as all of this is happening, Van der Walt watches on. Marais, Hillebrand, Smith, Van der Walt. Into sunset they go. Tian Marais looking back, I'm sure, to check to see exactly where these guys are. The swan neck wing working on. Into the braking zone, and look at that. Smith tries to take the dive, tries to capitalize there. Tries to capitalize. And very aggressive driving there from Hillebrand and Smith for that matter. Hillebrand all over the back of Tian Marais. Tian Marais now going up towards the top of the hill. Into the braking zone they go. Watch the tree. All of them taking different lines, different approaches, and Smith takes the inside most line. As they go down the mine shaft, it's going to cost Smith, and yes it does. It costs Smith speed and pace in the downhill. Smith now needs to make sure to try and get this back somewhere else. A dab of the brake there from Hillebrand. And Marais now going a slightly defensive as Marais runs wide. Marais runs wide, and there goes Tian Marais with massive pressure behind him. Massive pressure from Tian Marais. Oh, down the inside goes Smith. Down the inside goes Smith. It's a three-way battle. Smith has got it. Smith has got it. Smith gets past, and Marais gets away. Marais gets away. Marais finds himself a hit. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! In the lead. Soradio in the lead. Sorry, Lucchesi in second place. Labuschagne in third. Marais in fourth. And this race over here hotting up big time. These drivers, everything to play for. Now, the order now currently. We got Smith now within striking distance of Marais. Smith has somehow managed to slot his way and carve his way through the competition here. Ethan Smith, team year one. There goes, oh, down the inside goes Smith, and look at that, Marais running very wide there, now he's under pressure, oh, Marais gets a big slide there, gets under pressure from Hillebrand, succumbs to the pressure, and Hillebrand now slots ahead. So, we've got Smith, Hillebrand, Marais, Van der Walt. Van der Walt now applying the pressure to Marais. Marais doing so well for so many laps, but just not able to maintain. Tian Marais, unfortunately, Tian Marais in 6th position. There come the rest of the field. Van der Walt in 7th place. Tian Marais in 6th place, followed by Van der Walt. In front of that is Hillebrand, Smith, Labuschagne, Lucchesi, Soradio. Soradio still leads us off. Soradio still leads us off. And this battle here, oh, fire coming out of the back of the Lamborghini. Oh my goodness me. It's the first time we've seen that, a blown engine for Tian Mare. That is the first time we've seen that in the sim, certainly that I've seen. Oh my goodness me. Ethan Smith going towards the finish line over there, crosses the line, and a fantastic performance from him so far as Ethan Smith makes his way through. Damien van der Walt on your screen at the moment. Damien van der Walt in 6th place in the Ferrari. And Damien van der Walt looking very good there in 6th position. But geez, the positions have shuffled so much in the last couple of minutes, with all these guys in the mid-pack showing some serious class and performance over there. And now Damien van der Walt going up against Hillebrand as they make their way down the hill. Oops, big sideways moment there from Van der Walt. Big sideways moment there from Van der Walt. Oh, into the pits goes Damien van der Walt. The first of the pit stops have started. Luke Phillips says he got disconnected again. So Luke Phillips once again gets disconnected. Oh, what a shame. And there goes Ethan Smith in 4th place now. So Ethan Smith looking very good in 4th position. Ethan Smith in 4th position, looking very good out there, I gotta say. Fantastic performance from him so far today. And we've seen a lot of guys doing very well here at the ATK Pro Series powered by Mercedes-Benz, and some of the drivers that usually don't feature quite as prominently definitely have stepped up their game today. Someone though that I'm glad to see get a solid result, at least so far, is Serradio after a disastrous start to the weekend. And there goes Serradio now across into the final corner, going for the finish line. Look at him rotate that BMW, just amazing. It's so difficult to do that, to get the car completely rotated at that minimum sort of slip angle yaw on these cars. And Serradio makes his way through. And Andre Serradio looking so good out there. Very nicely done from Andre Serradio so far this weekend. Very nicely done indeed. But it's not over yet. Still 32 minutes of racing to go. And the pit stops now have slowly started. This time I'll try and keep a closer eye on the pit stops and try and figure out who does what. But it's been quite tricky so far as the drivers try to figure out what is the best strategy as Andre Hillebrand goes into the pits. Watch for Labuschagne though. It's not over till it's over. There's Labuschagne. Watch out for him. We've seen him jump many of the guys thanks to some very clever pit stop strategy. Even outsmarted myself and the producer. And oftentimes my producer pretty much sees everything, so this that was quite a smart pit stop from him. Very much splash and dash, in and out. Jan Labuschagne there in 3rd position now. 21 seconds down on the leader. Now, how will this affect Serradio? He got disconnected earlier on, so we don't know what his end of race strategy is. We do know, however, that the Kyalami circuit does chow tires. So if that is the case, then Seradio could be in for a big surprise, and so could we, as we go into the latter part of this race shortly. Johan Labuschagne starts to make his way through. Down the main straight now goes Ethan Smith. Ethan Smith, team year 1, in 4th position. And we saw, unfortunately, Smith was very much at the back of the field in the previous race, but this time, though, wow. I mean, when he started this race, he started way, way down after the first, he was in 11th position. And Smith now finds himself in 4th place. So Ethan Smith, a fantastically impressive performance from him. Ethan Smith, team year 1. Goes through now down towards the mineshaft. Andre Seradio in 1st position. He's going to be happy to hear that. Hopefully it stays that way for his sake. Luke Lucchesi is going to try and catch him though. 15 seconds the gap at this stage. Labuschagne though, the guy to watch in 3rd place, because he's going to try and get past Lucchesi, I'm sure. Smith here in 4th, not within striking distance. After half an hour, the race has kind of settled down a little bit. Van der Walt in 5th place, Hillebrand in 6th, Robert in 7th. Smith, though, is on for fastest lap of the race and gets across the line. Does he get it? Just messed up the last sector there. But Smith definitely on maximum pace, on hot lap pace here at this stage. And if he can maintain this, maybe a podium position. Not if Labuschagne's got anything to say about that, and not if this man's got anything to say about that. Luke Lucchesi in 2nd place. And Luke Lucchesi doing very well indeed there. Top of the hill. Luke Lucchesi. And we saw earlier on he getting a podium. Hopefully another one in the bag now. Consistency pays off in championships, and Luke Lucchesi now starting to find that consistent rhythm. Not having to push too hard. I think that definitely helps with this car, because if the car behaves like he says it does, and especially considering that he didn't put that much effort into practice, Luke, I'm talking about you. You said it yourself, friend. Then, you know, it makes it quite tricky when you're on and over the limit, when you're pushing 10 tenths, 11 tenths, to try and catch someone or defend. Whereas now he can kind of get into the rhythm, push it 9 tenths, and try not to outbrake anybody or outbrake himself for that matter. As we see the ATK screen pop up there. Of course, this is powered by ATK and Mercedes-Benz, the ATK Pro Series. And there is Andre Seradio, 1st place man. Andre Seradio tucks it in, nice and tight. And so neat in such a big car. Can't be easy, that's for sure. Here we go. Andre Seradio, still your leader with 26 minutes or so to go. Just about. All he's got to do now is keep his composure. Make sure that he doesn't make any silly mistakes. He's got a massive lead. He had the pace, and even against Tristan, we saw earlier on that Seradio does have the pace. He really has shown that he's able to do so, and I'm sure now that the dust has settled on race 1, all the guys that were supporting him, Gabriel Dos Santos, Ethan Smith as well, Logan Galdenes, all of these guys will be shouting for him once again. Maybe not Smith so much in 4th place, Maybe Smith is thinking, come on, let me catch this guy. But early on we saw Smith get disconnected, so he was unfortunately not able to participate in race 1, at least not all of it, as Andre Hillebrand in 6th place makes his way through once again. This is Rfactor2, and these drivers are at Kyalami, the iconic Kyalami circuit in South Africa, in Johannesburg, all 4.5 kilometers of it, and some of the best racing to be seen in the world can be seen at Kyalami or the K9H, Kyalami 9 Hour. These guys, of course, living it right now is Andre Hillebrand in the Kessel Racing car there in 6th place. Makes his way now towards the iconic S's. Turns 8 and 9. Grabs some curb on the inside. Try to miss the curb on the other side like that. And then all the way up the hill, aim for the tree. Look at that. Incredible stuff. Don't run all the way wide. Various lines to be taken over here depending on what you want to sacrifice. But the idea is to get the fastest run down the hill. We saw Tenabriga doing very well early on. Doing very, very well early on with that. And let's see if I can get hold of Tristan actually. I'm going to try and multitask here a little bit. Let's see if I can find Tristan Tenabriga on, actually doing it live now. Tristan, if you're listening, what happened, bro? I'd love to know. I'm not sure if we're friends on Discord, but yeah, when you're commentating like this, it's a bit more difficult because we cheat. You know, when my co-commentator's talking, I can do whatever I want. But this time, though, it's a little bit difficult. So, Tristan, if you're out there and if you're listening, I would love to know exactly what happened there because that was not ideal, my friend. That was not ideal at all. So, let's see. I think he might be in the main chat. There he is. Let's see. Let's send him a message because I know you guys want to hear as well. How's it? What happened earlier? You gotta love modern technology. You can just send these race car drivers messages on live broadcast. So let's see what Tristan Tenabriga says as we cut to Johan Labuschagne in 3rd place. And again, as mentioned, Johan, the man, the master tactician. We saw early on, he was able to usurp his compatriots early on. That's a bunch of big words in a row. And able to get that win early on. Now currently wants to get on the podium. Once again on the podium is Jan Labuschagne. Apologies. Smith there in 4th place. So Smith looking good in 4th position. Labuschagne in 3rd, Lucchesi in 2nd, Soradio in 1st. So, yeah, we've just heard now that Robert and Nixon are 2 laps behind Van der Walt, who DNF'd. And unfortunately, that knock cost them big time. So I see some penalties coming down the line. Maybe the stewards will have a look at that. I wonder. But it is unfortunate that when something like that happens, there is an impact, and often that impact is on your fellow competitors. And in this case, the impact, not just off the track, but also on the track, was quite severe. Johan Labuschagne in the 275 car. Currently catching Lucchesi at a rate of 2 seconds per lap is Labuschagne, but he's still 25 seconds behind. What's going on with Luke, though? Let's check those times. Let's keep an eye on those times. Oh, sorry, 25 seconds behind the leader. I apologize. 6 seconds behind Lucchesi. So let's keep an eye on those lap times. 6 seconds the gap at the moment. I wonder if that gap's going to be maintained. Or will Luke Lucchesi start dropping the hammer? Will Labuschagne start catching him hand over fist? Let's find out. We've got 20 minutes of racing left, folks. We're about 2/3 of the way through this race. Still very much early days. .41.9 there for Labuschagne. Last sector he struggled. It seems like a lot of guys are struggling on the last sector of the circuit. It is very tricky because especially if you're coming faster from the rest of the circuit, you're going to find those last few corners so tricky, and you've got to fully commit. And if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I better get this right, and then you don't fully commit or you overcommit, it's going to throw you over the curbs there at Cheetah. It's going to bounce you over the sausage curbs at Ingwe. And yeah, no, it's not ideal at all as we hit the 20-minute mark. Jan Labuschagne in third place, still the gap dropping. It's now under 5 seconds, or sorry, just over 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds. It was 6 seconds earlier on. So has Lucchesi got anything else in the bag? That is what we're waiting to see at this stage. If Lucchesi's got something else in the bag. There he is. Okay, so we've got the live timing up at the moment. Look at this. Luke Lucchesi slowing it right the way down. The gap now 4.5 seconds. But the Constantini effect gets into his favor. 4.8 seconds. Let's watch an onboard lap and check what happens at the start finish line, and then watch a full lap of the circuit with Luke Lucchesi. Here we go, folks. The start finish line up ahead. Across the line he goes. 4.9 seconds the gap at the moment into the first corner. Of course, this first corner here, technically the second corner, Crowthorne. And I feel like saying Crowthorne in an English accent because my other co-commentator does the same. Yuxke sweep into Barbecue. Surprisingly not called Braai Corner for some other reason. South Africans always get so offended when the word barbecue gets used. Now going to turn 6, Sunset. And the reason they call it Sunset, of course, is as the sun sets in the distance, you can see it as you come around this corner. And oftentimes drivers have to raise their left or right hands to try and make this left-hander, which is the clubhouse. 7 corners done, 8 next. And that is S's 8 and 9 on the curb. Off the curb. Don't run too wide here. And then up the hill towards the tree. 4.9 seconds was the gap at the start of the lap. We're keeping an eye on that as they go towards the top of the hill here. Leeuwkop, as they say, Lion's Head for Harry Spears, if you're watching. Turn 11 as well counts, 10 and 11. And then the mineshaft turn 12, the famous mineshaft. High compression of the suspension. There's the G's, push the car down and sideways. 13, 14, 15 Cheetah towards Ingwe, Leopard corner. Over the bumps, watch those bumps now into the left hand of the last corner, Ingwe. And this is the end of the lap. It started on 4.9 seconds, folks. Let's check it out. 4.5. So 0.4 of a second gain there by Labuschagne. Damien van der Walt has confirmed that he's also lost connection. What a pity. What a freaking pity. Damien van der Walt also out of this race. And as we now, once again, let's cut back to the action from the outside. The gap has dropped from 4.9 seconds now to the low 4s. And that man over there can now see second place in front of him as they make their way through. Johan Labuschagne. What a pity. What a pity. What a disappointing result for our man Tristan de Nobrega. But one man's curse is another man's blessing. Is another man's blessing, I apologize. And that another man is Seradio, who now finds himself in first place after a fantastic drive. I mean, he overtook Tristan Nobrega fair and square earlier on. He showed pace. He showed that he was the fastest out there. Even Johan Nabskachny said he doesn't have the pace to beat these guys on track, but he can do so as a tactician, and that's exactly what he did. So the fastest man out there, Seradio, Luke Lucchesi right up there, has had a couple of fastest laps himself. Oh, look at that. Nice and sideways there. And Labuschagne, though, is the man to watch now, because suddenly he's catching Luke Lucchesi, who has no answer at this stage. Let's check that gap once again. If we can check that gap, 3.9 seconds the gap at this stage. 3.9 seconds. It was 4.9 seconds. Now we go back to the live timing. So he's gained a second, but he hasn't gained much more since then. He should be able to see. There we go. He now has eyes on Lucchesi. Lucchesi goes through sunset. Labuschagne goes through sunset. And Labuschagne will be thinking to himself, he is very, very much in the striking distance. He is faster. If you look at the bottom right of his screen, you can see that he's actually 0.4 of a second faster in the last lap. Still 3.9 seconds. Lucchesi must be thinking to himself, I've got to go, go, go. But we've seen this happen before, especially with Lucchesi, and especially today. He said the tire setup counts against him because he hasn't quite tuned the car properly for the circuit. It's a very abrasive circuit. So Lucchesi needs to maintain with what is clearly not the best tire setup at this stage. Andre Seradio pits. Andre Seradio in the pit lane. One of the first of the pitters. He's race leader, so he should get overtaken now. Here comes Luke Lucchesi. Let's see. Luke Lucchesi comes past. And Luke Lucchesi goes past. So Luke Lucchesi gets ahead. Labuschagne does too. Labuschagne, though, not able to change that gap by, well, within the 3-second bracket. I take that back immediately. I immediately regret that decision of saying those words as Labuschagne starts to drop down the time to 3.5 seconds at this stage. Seradio further down, having pitted. So Luke has not pitted yet. I would say Seradio just pitted. I would say that Labuschagne haven't pitted, but I could have missed it like I did earlier, so I'm just going to not say anything. But Luke Lucchesi definitely hasn't pitted, and here comes Labuschagne now. Labuschagne, a master tactician, driver at maintaining those tires. He's been able to manage the tires better than anybody else today, and that in itself is such an incredible skill. He mentioned that he was trying to save fuel, but in so doing, saved tires as well. Oh, speaking of, save those tires, Labuschagne locks up those tires. Locks up those tires that time. And that was very close to losing it there. Anybody that's ever lost it there knows that things could quite easily have gone south as he slams on the brakes, locks up, goes into the pits now, does Labuschagne. And finally, I get to see Labuschagne going to the pits. Lucchesi as well. So now we'll see what's going to happen with these two. Let's keep an eye on these two. I'd love to just watch this unfold and see exactly who manages to get out first. Lucchesi will probably change tires. We know that his car's quite hard on tires. Oh, Lucchesi doesn't. He doesn't. Luke Lucchesi with a splash and dash stays ahead. And there comes Labuschagne now. Labuschagne with an even smaller splash and dash. So, wow. Luke Lucchesi is going to maintain with those tires. Oh, no. Lucchesi gets a penalty. Oh, no. Luke Lucchesi gets a pit lane penalty. Oh, come on, man. That is disastrous. And we've seen this before from him. Getting on the power too soon. Releasing the pit lane limiter too soon. And unfortunately collecting himself a penalty. So Luke Lucchesi is out of this tight, or at least the podium chase. That means he's going to have a drive-through penalty Not sure if it's stop and go. We'll have to check. Are they going to apply that penalty? Was that penalty lifted though? I'm waiting for my producer to confirm. So will he have to do a drive-through penalty? Or was that penalty lifted? So I don't see anything on the screen at the moment about that. Seradio, though, finds himself very much in the lead of this race. Second and third place still battling it out. But Labuschagne will be rubbing his hands together with absolute glee, because this could see him go up the standings. Logan Galdenhuys says, we love Andre Seradio, and asked if Seradio has pitted yet. And he was one of the first to pit early on of the leaders. The other two just pitted, Logan. And Andre Seradio now finds himself in first place. This is going to be a joyous moment for him if he's able to make it through. Luke Lucchesi doesn't take a drive-through penalty with 10 minutes remaining. And now the gap... He's got 3 laps to serve it though. But I don't see anything on the screen. Does he need to serve it? Was there any way that the stewards would have not implemented that or taken it away? Gabriel De Santos says, come on, Andre. And I think many people are doing that too. I'm sure Andre Seradio is doing that himself. 9 minutes to glory. 9 minutes to victory. For Andre Seradio. If Luke Lucchesi in fact does have to do that drive-through penalty and he does not serve it, he will officially be disqualified from this race by the system. So Labuschagne with the first and second for the day potentially. That is an interesting turn of events. Luke Lucchesi still in second place. Yeah, Seradio pitted earlier and managed to build a massive gap, but I do think also Seradio's ultimate pace is just higher than most of the other guys at the moment. I mean, even more so than De Nobrega with that overtake, that clean overtake we saw early on from him. So I do think Seradio has got the pace, but also has got his strategy down today. Labuschagne now still chasing down Lucchesi, who still hasn't pitted yet. Lucchesi will have one more lap. Oh, Lucchesi makes a mistake. Lucchesi makes a mistake into sunset. Lucchesi makes a mistake, and now he's got a Labuschagne-sized problem to deal with. Through the sunset corner they go. Labuschagne chasing down. Whew, you can read the print on the back, on the front of Labuschagne's car. Can Lucchesi, if he looks in his rearview mirror, you can see Smith on that bumper over there, or at least apex on that bumper over there. Seradio still leads, and we're on board with Luke Lucchesi now, but it says that he's still in the pits. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. He should be going into the pits pretty soon to serve his penalty. He's got 7 minutes remaining on the race. Nice gap there from him through the mine shaft. And, wow, Labuschagne hard on the brakes there. Very late braking from Labuschagne. Managed to close that gap completely. Here comes Luke Lucchesi now. This is his chance through Cheetah before Ingwe ducks into the pits for the drive-through. Yes, he takes it. Luke Lucchesi takes the DT penalty. And I wonder what happens next. There goes your second place man. There goes your second place man. Labuschagne. 6 laps to go. I can't imagine. Looks like a stop-go penalty for Lucchesi. He's just going to have to make sure that if he does go out of the pits, that he doesn't get on the power too soon. Smith, though, I'm sure will be hoping to capitalize on this. Let's see. Oh, Lucchesi gets another penalty. Lucchesi gets another penalty. What is going on here, folks? What is going on? But Lucchesi's the only one that got the penalty, so I think the pit lane release window is not clearly defined for him. And that means that Lucchesi will once again lose out, and he has to Smith. And that puts Smith on the podium, and if anybody's deserving of that podium, it's Smith after that fantastic performance. We even saw him get close to the fastest lap early on. So Smith gets third place at this stage with 5 minutes to go. There goes Ethan Smith. Looking very good there and very fast over the course of this race weekend. Ethan Smith has shown that he deserves to be in this field. And even though we did have a top 4 drivers early on, Seradio Labuschagne, Lucchesi, and of course Tristan de Nobrega, those were our top 4 drivers for the day, at least with pace. Smith has shown that he's able to mix it with the boys, and clearly he's got pace now that he's in third position with 4 minutes to go and the finish line in sight. Just a couple laps to go. It's probably about 2 or 3 laps remaining if they go as they are right now. So Smith will want to make sure that he makes no mistakes. And there, once again, Stricken in the pit lane waiting for another drive-through penalty to be served is 4th place man Lucchesi. That's so frustrating. It must be so frustrating as Lucchesi goes down the main straight over there, and thankfully this time doesn't get a penalty. My producer says he's finally off the hook, and yeah, a little bit of frustration for all of us there. I can't believe that Lucchesi with such a great performance today started to finally find his rhythm by the looks of things, even having not spent enough or as much time as I'm sure he would have liked to setting up the car. There's Ethan Smith, 3rd place man. I feel like applauding for Ethan Smith. It's well done to him. So once again, for you guys that have joined us in the stream, thanks so much for joining us. I see we've got Logan Galdenes, Gabriel dos Santos, Gerrit van Vieren. Ethan Smith also early on, but he's too busy driving right now. Harry Spears, all the way from the UK. Aiden, of course. Anthony Wilson from Team ECGT. And yeah, I think that's me over there. Performance with Page. So, folks, Johan Labuschagne in 2nd place. Gets a first early on, gets a 2nd now. And the strategy certainly has paid off. Even if, as he mentioned, he doesn't quite have the pace of the others, I'm sure that'll come. And I'm sure it's there because these consistencies there, these strategies there. Andre Seradio, though, Seradio Motorsport car in 1st position. 22nd cushion in hand. He's got a car behind him. Is that Lucchesi behind him? I wonder if that's Lucchesi behind him there. Oh, and I gotta say, this is the only car that can jump those curves like that, isn't it? The BMW just hops over those curves, no issues, as he makes his way through. And if my calculations are correct, he's got just over a lap left. Maybe he's going to slow it down all the way and make sure that this is the last lap. 1 minute 44 seconds to go. Andre Seradio, your leader. And a fantastic performance from him. A fantastic performance from him, that's for sure. Aiden says, let's go, Andre Seradio. Because it wasn't just that he got gifted the win. I think that's important to note. That even though we saw de Nobrega with serious pace over the course of the season, we've seen Seradio with good pace and some bad luck and some mistakes here and there. even on the start line, off the start line, great drive to try and come back, but then got disconnected. And then in the second race now, to win it like this by overtaking Den Obriger fair and square, starting to put the hammer down, clearly got the fastest car on circuit. I mean, I think he must have been practicing in the off season, and now he finds himself, or between races, now he finds himself leading this race at Kyalami, going down the mine shaft with a win just seconds and moments away. Andre Serradio in the BMW M6 with just a couple corners to go. Flames coming out the side exit pipes there. And he's still got one more lap to do. He's not going to try and cheat the system here. He's going to go for that last lap. And yeah, one more lap to go for Serradio. Serradio on the final lap. He's going to drink it in now. And this does look like Lucchesi over there. I think it's Lucchesi, because that Ferrari is very fast. And there's no point in fighting now. That car is way behind. No minutes remaining, and this is your leader here on the final lap. It's all formalities now. If you can just keep it on the circuit, don't make any silly mistakes. Don't make any silly mistakes. Andre Serradio. He started in pole in race 1. Started in 3rd in race 2. And now finds himself in 1st at the end of a Sunday's racing. He's going to watch the Formula 1 with a smiling face tonight, that's for sure. Andre Serradio looking good in the BMW M6 through the S's for the final time. Up the hill towards Newcorp for the final time. He's got a Ferrari in his mirrors, but it's not going to count. It's not going to bother him too much. All he needs to do is just finish this lap, and all will be well at the Serradio Motorsport camp. The final sector. Ladies and gentlemen, after a tumultuous start to the weekend for Andre Serradio, even though he managed to get that pole position in the last moments of qualifying, he stalled it on the line, caused a massive pile-up, and ended up out of the race in race 1. He crosses the line first, takes the win in race 2. Luke Lucchesi races into the line, but it's Andre Serradio across the line, takes the win. There comes Johan Labuschagne in 2nd place. Another podium finish for him. And Johan Labuschagne is going to be very glad with that as well. Smith with a podium for Smith. Fantastic performance from him as well. Luke Lucchesi gets 4th, Hillebrand 5th position. Grabs the flag. And there goes Smith. Gabriel dos Santos says, yes, Andre. It's done. It's over. And Smith is about to cross the line, and Gabriel dos Santos wishing his friend well over there. Ethan Smith goes across the line. Well done to him. But P1 for Serradio. But we'll see you guys after the break for those results.
Welcome to Africa's first ROG arena.
Well, folks, there you have it. Ethan Smith in third place, Johan Labuschagne in second position. Andre Serradio gets first place. But we got Ethan Smith in the commentary booth with us. Ethan Smith, so fantastic to see your name on the top of the bill. I know that you had a terrible first race, but third position for Ethan Smith. Ethan, what was that like, and to what do you attribute your fantastic performance? I know you didn't have the best race 1, but race 2 certainly was different.
Honestly, I'm out of breath.
What happened? Tell me what happened. Explain to us why you're out of breath.
Just fighting through the pack.
Yeah.
Obviously, I came down on the crash from the Norbregga, and Weber got caught up in that, and from there it was just trying to manage my tires to the end.
The tire management does seem to be a major issue, especially at Kyalami. What does that look like? How do you manage the tires though?
Well, I can't really give a straightforward description. It was just drive as carefully but yet as fast as you can. Don't spin up the rears, which I did way too much, and don't lock up.
Yeah, but there were definitely a couple of lock-up moments here and there. But Smith, I mean, I'm looking now, right? You started near the back of the grid, like right at the back of the grid.
Yeah, that was, when I really didn't think I would get this high up. I would definitely say luck was on my side today, but it feels amazing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the game we play, isn't it? Sometimes you're the lucky one, sometimes you're the unlucky one, and you just take what you can get. And you certainly took it. You took those positions one after the next. You ended up in third. Fantastic performance. So great to see you on the podium, especially after what happened in race 1. Congratulations, Ethan Smith.
Thank you very much.
Ethan Smith, ladies and gentlemen, third place. Johan Labuschagne gets another podium today. Gets 2 podiums for the day. And Johan Labuschagne, so many podiums for you today. What are you going to do with all those podiums for the day? But second place, well done.
Yeah, cool. Thanks a lot, man.
Jeez, if this was like a race where there'd be a first overall for the day, because most South African formats work that way, you would have been first overall for the day. You know that, right?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Yeah, that's nuts. And you said it yourself. I'm just quoting you. You said you're not necessarily the fastest out there, but your strategy's solid. What do you think you're going to do next time? Because I think you could be one of the fastest out there for sure, man.
Maybe practice a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I've had the pace actually the whole year, but I've had some bad luck with either strong strategies or disconnection issues or whatever. So today feels like it was a little bit of payback for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the overall pace. Like Tristan and Andre are just crazy fast. Even Luke.
Yeah.
But I just wait and do the patient thing and let the race come to me.
Yeah.
Seems to have worked today. So yeah, I can't complain about that.
Well, you definitely proved that you deserve to be up there. There's 4 of you guys in this at the moment, and you're one of them. The 4 horsemen, as they say, and you're definitely one of them. I look forward to seeing how you do next time. I think there's going to be more pace there somewhere, bro. I definitely think so. You've got all the ingredients. Now it's just to bake that cake. Johan Labuschagne, we'll see you at the next round.
Well, thanks a lot.
Cheers, man.
Ciao, bye.
Well, that was Johan Labuschagne. Now suddenly I'm a fan, I gotta say, but I'm also a big fan of Andretti, as they call him, Andre Serradio. But he's got a couple of fans out there. Yes, Andre, you had some support out there today, eh?
Yeah, it's actually, it's fantastic, man. It means a lot. It's like just seeing, when I DNF'd in the first race, I just saw the amount of people just like surprised at the pace I had in the first race. But yeah, no, it's great.
How cool is it to be able to then showcase in the second race that pace wasn't just a 1-lap pace, it wasn't just a first half of the race pace, it was actually ultimate pace over the course of the race, because you overtook the Nobrega, and I think that's kind of like a big mental victory for you, I'm sure. Or what am I onto something here?
Well, yeah, he's basically the Max Verstappen of this championship. So
yeah.
It is like, it's a big thing to overtake him for the lead. And it's great considering that Port Elizabeth was just tragedy and the first race was also just a tragedy. So just to have this like sort of victory for me, it's incredible.
It's exactly that. You get to, I always say that if you win this race like this, you get to go into the Formula One a winner. You get to go into work tomorrow a winner. You get to feel like a winner until the next race starts. And you deserve it, man. I'm a big fan of your pace. The way you were jumping that BMW over those curbs and sliding it around those corners was really cool to watch. And yeah, you deserved everything and all the accolades, the respect from your peers. A fantastic performance today, and the pace is definitely there, my man.
Yeah, thank you. I also want to thank Project Vapor for like helping me with the car and helping me with the strategies and all that. It's great to have like a whole team supporting you, and it's just a great victory. That's all I have to say.
Well, you deserve it, Andre Serradio. Enjoy the spoils of victory and enjoy watching the race tonight. Hopefully Max Verstappen loses again tonight, the other Max Verstappen. I'm just kidding. Have a great week and enjoy the feeling, man. That's all I can say. Enjoy the feeling.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Awesome stuff, ladies and gentlemen. There is your winner, Andre Serradio. But I think definitely someone standing atop the podium with him, your overall winner for the day, Johan Labuschagne, can definitely take that victory with him as well. Some new names to talk to. Smith in the mix as well at the end of today's racing. What a day's racing. And the pretty boy on the right-hand side unfortunately couldn't join us, but maybe next time. We won't have the championship standings up on the screen right now. We've got some post-race penalties to dish out, and we just got to make sure we do all the calculations correct. So stay tuned onto the Discord for the championship standings later on this week. Just getting some word from my producer over there. And of course, the social media. Stay tuned to our social medias this week as well. Check out our sponsors at the bottom there. If you haven't supported them yet, feel free to do so over the next couple of weeks. My name is Ernest Page, joined virtually by Stephen Koenig. Fantastic racing today, especially for that four-way dice we saw early on. Some mid-pack races happening as well. This is the ATK Pro Series powered by Mercedes-Benz, and we'll see you guys at the next round.